Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, with the Europa League anthem, something you probably haven't heard for the last 14 years. But when you're playing this crap, you're playing this consistently, and you're to the point where you actually could end up in the Europa League or the Conference League if we're not careful. You got to consider the possibilities of playing that anthem again. And hey, look, it's a complaint. I'm not going to consider a complaint because the reality is no one can sit here and say we actually don't. There's we top 4 for 5 right now. Current form.
We are very lucky how weak the Premier League is right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, at least people in the chat actually agree with Anthem's pretty. Yeah, it's an anthem. I do like it. I like Rugby League anthem. More fair at the Champions League, but big up Steve, big up Sean, big up Nabil, big up everyone in the chat. Obviously, what's them here? Panel show. Not often do these, but I thought people have asked to come on. Thought why not do a chat for a couple of hours about City, really. Maybe with Lewis, bringing the blues. Big up, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good. Well, I'm not good. I'm okay.
How are you yourself? Not
I'm happy.
Yourself?
I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. But yeah, personally, yeah, I'm all good. You know, I don't let, you know, football's one thing, but you know, I've had enough weekends ruined now by City, so I'm trying to get to the point where I'm thinking, you know what, no. You know, trying to leave it at the ground where I can in terms of how I feel. But you know, we'll get into it, and I'll share how I feel. I'm sure everyone will have their say and getting involved in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Big up everyone in the chat, and Alf, big up, man. You alright? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm mostly chill. You know what? Yeah. Lewis says he doesn't let it ruin his weekend anymore. I hear that, and I could do the smart thing and just try to ignore it. But here's the thing. I just don't do that. I just torture myself by worrying about this constantly, because I guess that's just the way I am. I know it's actually not that serious at the end of the day. It's just football. But my weekend is ruined. If Club Brugge lose tomorrow, it's definitely ruined. Genk is playing right now, so I hope they're losing. Fuck's sake, they won again. Yeah, okay, so my weekend is double ruined because Genk won again. They always win 2-1. How do they win every fucking game 2-1? These guys are lucky as fuck, you know. Anyhow, yeah. So my weekend is double ruined. Only thing that can save us is if Club Brugge win tomorrow. But if I'm being honest, international break is probably we need it. Like as a club, we need it.
We do need it.
The fan base needs it to get some rest. Yeah. And the players probably need it to just get their head out of Man City. Because as a player right now, like going on international break, playing for England, you get to think about something else than I'll come back to closer. Playing with England, thinking about something else, or Belgium, or whatever the country you play for, it actually does help to clear up your mind a bit and come back, hopefully. Like, I'm very hopeful, by the way, because that's all I have left. All we have left is being optimistic here, and I hope that they can come back from international break stronger. But it lies on Pep this game. I did think most players played well enough. We'll talk about that in a second. Rosa, I did not jinx us, because if we go back to my watch along, here, I said, if we bottle this, it's on you, because you were the one hyping it up. So you jinxed us, not me. I said we won't bottle it, and then I said it's on you because you were hyping us up. So it's on you, Rosa, not on me.
Yeah. And finally, Mateus, bro, good to have you back again on the channel, mate. Good? Apart from City.
No, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm good. Yeah, life is good, isn't it? City is back.
City are back.
We're back now, yeah.
I feel 8 years old again.
We were enjoying Champions League midweek, some good games, and for a few days we didn't have to worry about Man City. We were just laughing at other teams. Do you know what I mean? Come Saturday afternoon, the sun is out, weather look nice. Do you know what I mean? It was quite warm, to be fair. Excited about the match, but
not over here.
Same old, man. Same old. Just different days.
Yeah.
Just, listen, we'll dissect into it, won't we?
The thing is, guys, like we've all sound like broken records, haven't we? I mean, I've been calling this out myself since September before we even got shit. Because the Brentford game for me was the first right. Oh shit! You know, we won the game 2-1. We were bailed out in individual performances, and I thought this is a sign if we're already get bailed out already in September. And Haaland's goals start drying up, and then mistakes started coming in even more. If we walk down at the time as well, and then suddenly in November here, after started to beat Southampton 1-0, bang, and then that's when it all started. And we haven't recovered really. Like, can you really sit there and say that City that actually recovered for that 1 win 13? We haven't really, have we, at all? We got like 3 wins in a row once, and then or 2 wins in a row, and we got a draw, and we start losing games again. It just we can't seem to just get any kind of form anymore, and it just like that's why I'm not bothered about. Like, but to be honest with you, right, FA Cup I don't really care anymore at this point because the fact is, obvious, right, we're nowhere near good enough to win it right now. I mean, on current form, like Villa, Bournemouth, where we play next, if we manage to get through Bournemouth, they're better quality on attack right now. And I just feel like we're at a point where genuinely we could end up finishing like at least 7th or 8th. I thought.
You might win the FA Cup on accident if Pep plays the kids. You might win it on accident.
Genuinely, yeah. And and that's the thing as well, right? I put before the game, right? Echeverria not on the squad again. Now, I didn't say the first team, I said on the bench. Why is Pep not put him on the bench at least? I'm asking to at least play every game, but why the World Cup?
Right? He's actually allowed to play.
I think Echeverria is injured.
If he is,
not.
I think the reason why he's not in the squad yet, if I remember correctly, he picked up a knock in the semi-final, and he was doubted to play the final. And he obviously being the captain, he literally chose to play. But I don't think he's fitness-wise. I don't think he's ready yet. For me, I feel like he's got a knock. That's why he's not in the squad yet. I might be wrong.
I'd rather know. I mean, why do we not know that? Why, if he's not going to play, what's the harm in letting the fan base know that he's picked up a knock, he's not going to play? It's the same thing with Oscar Bob. I just think that you make a rod for your own back. I love Pep to bits, and he's got all the credit in the world, but recently, and especially some of the things he's been coming out saying recently, and again today, he came out and mentioned, I sound like a broken record, and I'll talk, people are going to sigh, and I talk about McAtee a lot, but he came out and said, the worst decision he made was not bringing McAtee on. He felt awful, and then he doesn't start today, and Gundo starts. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to anyone. Even just from a perspective of having legs and being hungry and young, he's a much better option than Gundogan. It doesn't work. There's no creativity there, which is why we didn't create anything today, because there was no creativity in the middle of the park.
Bro, how long have you been saying that there's no creativity in the middle?
All season.
It's been all season, and it seems like we, for the sake of it, we're just gonna carry on do what we do every single game, expecting for one day the results are gonna change. But in order for the results to change, we have to be willing to change within ourselves first. Why have we become so?
He's gone.
So to live in the ball.
Days is bugging out.
When I heard, sorry, is my internet playing up?
A little bit there, but
you can hear me now.
Yeah. Say it again, mate. Say it again.
Yeah. The main problem is, we so easy to play against. we so easily, teams are really, really comfortable to let us have the ball because they know as long as you stop Haaland, stop any cross going to the box, and when we go on the other end, we have to score, take out chances. And when you look when you said that the cracks has been since that Brentford game, for me, I start noticing after when we played Newcastle away. That was the third game of the season where the defense was all over the place, even Diaz. And I even start questioning Diaz. I was like, this guy's been worse than last season. But that game, I think we won 2-1. But Newcastle, it was getting at us like with pace and power. They hit the post a couple of times in that game, remember? And we looked quite shaken in the second half. We look okay in the first half, but off in the second half. And we keep it, and we've been doing that all season. First half, we play some decent football, yeah, like the likes of Tottenham away, Forest. We play some good football. We go into a half time, 50 minutes break. We come out on the pitch, and we just look worse, way worse. And I told to Steve, told to Lewis, and I was like, what's the team talk at halftime this season? I hope there is a documentary coming up in the summer. And because, bro, what's been said in that dressing room? That
So that's all I know.
Every time we come out for the second half, we look really poor. And the manager, he sat in there, sitting in this chair with the Lilo. Lilo's he's screaming at him in Spanish. And we as a fan base, we're crying out for some changes in here. We need some spark in the middle of the park, maybe KDB early on for rather than bring him for 5 minutes. Right? Don't even bring him within 20 minutes. We know KDB can't play full game, full 90s, or even 60 minutes. However,
but you know what?
Minutes.
Do you know what though? I'm just picking up on what you said there. There's still fans now that are asking him to start games. You know, I replied to a fan today on Twitter. You know, going mad about why is De Bruyne? He can't start. He can't do 90 minutes, and he can't. He's got legs of treacle now. He's an impact.
But he can do 20.
Yeah, but he can do 20. That's what I'm saying. So bring him on for the last half an hour, but. There's no point. He cannot start games. We know that. We've seen it. We've seen it happen all season. He's not that player now, and I think a lot of people are struggling with that. They're struggling with the fact that certain players are not the players that they once were. But that's football, and it happens. We're all a little bit surprised and a little bit shocked at how quick it's come for certain players. But again, let's be honest. It's been happening to players like Bernardo probably for the last couple of seasons. For me. You know how he's performed this season. It wasn't a shock to me. He's one of my favorite players historically. I think he's fantastic. But let's be honest, his impact on the games was dwindling. Has been dwindling probably for a couple of seasons now. You know, De Bruyne. What is he? 34 now.
Yes,
34 this summer.
34. Yeah, you always run the risk when players get that. Not everyone's going to be a Modric. You know, he's obviously a little bit of a different type of player in certain ways. But
even Modric doesn't play that much anymore. He comes only off the bench nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, we can start
using KDB the same way Real Madrid used Luka Modric.
Because Modric. We can't do that because Modric, he comes on to control a game when they're winning. He rarely comes on when they're goal down, unless they're trying to push Jude further up the pitch. But his role allows him to run a lot less. If we can have a system where De Bruyne doesn't have to run forwards, that works. But we don't have that system with the players we have right now. That just doesn't work. But what I want from De Bruyne is 20 minutes of your best football. And for the rest, we have to figure it out. What Pep is doing right now is 5 minutes of De Bruyne and then, pray for the rest. and that just doesn't work.
And if the team is lacking creativity, why is your £100 million sign sitting on the bench? When you came out in the press conference yourself after we beat Nottingham Forest at home, you came out and you said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about using Grealish in that position a bit more."
Absolutely.
When was the last time you saw Grealish in that position?
We have so many players who can play in that kind of position. I was talking with Luke yesterday on Blue Friday show, and we were talking about Centurion season where you had those 2 8s who can create. Now, Foden is not the most creative player, but he can play that role, not to the same effect as David Silva and De Bruyne, but he can play that role. Now put McAtee next to him, put Foden and maybe, I don't know, Gundogan, Grealish, like put someone there who can create from midfield. And Echeverri, why do we have Echeverri? We brought him in on loan in January. We could have loaned him out until the summer. Why did we not loan him out of the summer if we're not going to use him?
If you look at the games that McAtee's come on and played and had enough time, he's impacted the games. Whether it's scoring or getting assists, he gets involved, makes it difficult, plays well in that tight space. But I'm at the point. I know Luke's at the point. I feel like I'm saying the same thing every week, whether it's on my channel, coming on here. We all know that we can see the problems. The atmosphere was flat today. I felt flat going in because the lineup. I knew what game it was going to be because of the lineup. You can't have Gundogan starting in a game. You can't have Gundogan and Nico. There's no creativity in that.
I disagree though, because here's the thing. That's not my preferred lineup either, but I think it's worse for about a half of football. I thought the first half we looked okay. We have control thanks to Gundogan and Nico. We are forcing Marmoush and Haaland to play off of each other. Haaland, by the way, look at him. He has the most touches in this game he's ever had in a Man City game. He was actually involved once. He was involved. And that we rarely see from Haaland. And allowing Haaland to get involved, allowing him to play off of Marmoush, that works great. Now, it'd be better to have De Bruyne there or Kovacic, I think, or maybe even Foden. Not sure how people feel about that. But for one half of football, I don't mind Gundogan. Maybe off the bench will be better. I'm not sure. But that is not the biggest problem, I think. The problem is not the first half. It's how we failed to adapt in the second half, in my opinion.
I struggle with it, to be honest with you. I love Gundogan a bit, but he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be starting a game for me personally. Yeah, there's not enough creativity there. And I know, obviously, you got the assist today, but let's be honest with you, the Marmoush goal was a individual quality on it. At the end of the day, you don't usually shoot from there. It doesn't always go that way. It was all Marmoush. I'm not being negative. I'm just being completely honest. For me,
but the reason why
at that point now, negative positive, better than bin now.
The reason why he's given Gundogan the minutes that he's given to him is because he wants Gundogan to stay next season. Because if he plays a amount of games, then he's got that 1 year extension activated.
How many games?
We don't know why, but that's what the managers want. That's why when people start talking, I've heard quite a lot on Twitter. Oh, let's wait until the rebuild. That's just my opinion. I don't think the players are the problems anymore.
Because not the only problem.
I was thinking at the first half of the season, I feel like the players were letting down the fans down because we were going to games, making silly mistakes, giving the ball away too cheap, like too easy, and not taking out chances in the first half, and we end up losing the games. But this season, the second half of the season, I'm kind of start questioning the manager because where you're setting up the team is not helping the players in any way, shape, or form. And with the new players that you have available to you, in terms of Marmoush, Haaland, you line up with the players in the attacking areas that they're really comfortable to play without the ball. When the teammates got the ball, they all they want is put that ball through, because they'll be making runs in behind. Just put that ball through. But you create a system where you want them to walk the ball towards the opposition penalty area. Just passing sideways, backwards. We're playing in a system where we're so easy to play against, right? Because the moment the ball goes to one side, whether it's Savio in there or Doku, it is goes Doku to Rico, who is inverting, Rico to the centre backs to the DM midfielder. Let's try it on the other side. The other winger in there, whether it's Jack Grealish, Doku, whoever, is going to play the same. Doku to Vardio to Ikaigundo. Well, I've been closed down. Let me get to my two centre half. The centre half, it's just so predictable. The teams are so comfortable and say, let them allow them to play, to have the ball. Let them just pass the ball around. What we have to do, just stay really disciplined and stop any cross going to the box. As soon as the cross goes, let's defend the cross. And when we have the ball, let's run. It's been
is a question for just sorry. Can anyone remind me, Mateus Nunes, when we signed him, what position did we sign him in?
Midfield.
Central midfield.
Midfield. Yeah, he's 26 years old, right? He's not playing right back. As far as I'm aware, he's fit. There's no injury, right?
Yeah.
Why can't he get game time?
I think he played.
Honestly, why not?
I think Nunez. Like I said during my watch along, I was losing my head up constantly. But I said, okay, so now we bring on Nunez left wing, and you bring on De Bruyne in midfield for the Gundogan, and then you can maybe take off Savinho. You can put Marmoush on the right, and you can put Kovacic in midfield, and you have control with Kovacic and Nico. You have De Bruyne there for creativity. Nunez has proven that he can get a goal. He has proven that he can get a goal. He's proven that he can get a cross in. On the right wing, you just move Marmoush a bit. He was coming down the right constantly anyway, so won't be that much of a difference. And De Bruyne likes to overlap with the winger also, so you will pretty much see him play the same way. But we did none of that, and we brought on Bernardo Silva, and then we
the
took
question is,
and
yeah,
I don't want. Yeah, but
the question was, why is Nunes not playing? That's the question.
Yeah, but he's not good enough for the midfield. He's too slow. But we can still use him other
No,
ways.
he's got to be better. He's surely better than Gundo, though, right?
No. The problem is he's not slow. The reason why he's not playing is because Nunes is the type of player that he will not follow the game plan to its completion. Pep Guardiola selects the players that he selects in form or out of form because he trusts these sort of players to follow his game time from minute 1 to 90. Whether we 2-0 down, keep the game plan, play the same way. And Nunes is the type of player where he takes a lot of risks. That's why people say he loses the ball quite a lot, because players who are willing to take risks, they will lose the ball.
Mm.
They will. Bernardo Silva is a safety first type of player. That's why he's on the start lineup, because he will follow Pep's plan and he will play safety first.
Completely agree.
I agree with you. But let's assume you're the manager. You are the Pep now. Would you play Mateus Nunes in midfield, or would you rather play Kovacic, or would you rather play Foden?
I would play. I said at the start of the season, the midfield should be Kovacic and Nunes. Nunes box to box, or one or the other, just to protect the back line. Then if you want to play Foden, Bernardo Silva, and another, you can play. But you cannot go, especially the way the game, because the game has changed. The teams have figured that's out now. So and they some teams, even when you see it, even Brighton, the way they like the build up is crazy. It's quick. It's fast. They're on the break really quick. Our build up is really slow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So I feel like Matheus Nunes.
With Nunes in midfield, at least he will have that leg, and he'll run with the ball because he does that.
But so does Kovacic.
You look at the goal against PSG. He was running with the ball the whole field, the whole pitch.
Yeah.
Yes, he will lose the ball because he will take risks. Kevin De Bruyne, he put 10 he will put a 15-10-yard pass. 9 out of 10. He for that one time it will work. But he doesn't want that. The manager doesn't want to, because he said it. I hate playing when we play in transition. That's what he said. He doesn't want it.
But still, even with that, I would not play Matheus Nunes in midfield. I want to play a more balanced style of football. I think Pep Guardiola does not play balanced football. It's like a horseshoe, right? You have to imagine a horseshoe. He's on the extreme end, where it's way too focused on possession and all of that. And on the other side is the extreme end of way too much defense and all that. I want to come back into a more defensive or into a more balanced shape. But with that said, Matheus Nunes, okay, he can drag a ball up the pitch. That's great. But he doesn't have the quality for me to play in middle. I would rather put Kovacic there and Gundogan 20 minutes, I think is okay. I would rather put someone there who is actually good enough for the midfield. Also because Matheus Nunes can get GA. We put him left wing. He's proven he can get those goals and assists. No one else can. No one else of our wingers can. Grealish, put him in midfield. Now, whether you think he's good enough or not, that's a different argument. But put him in midfield, he'll drag the ball up the pitch, same as Nunes. He'll actually lose the ball less because he's more efficient. But he doesn't get the same goals and assists from the left wing that Nunes does. I think Nunes on left wing is just a lot better. But here's the thing here. Even if I'm wrong, even if you're wrong, regardless of which one of us is wrong, Pep Guardiola is not doing either. He's just waiting to see what happens. That's the biggest problem. It's not the ideas, it's the fact that he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, right, I mean, I put in a title about individual performances not being enough, and it is true. Like, at the end of the day, right, I don't mind us, now and again, the occasional game, players like Haaland and Mamouche that bail us out and win a game on their own. Like, that happens, it's great, it does happen. But when it's become a common factor of why we win games, it then speaks volumes of where the team is overall. Because Mamouche, right, because the thing is, he's scored 4 goals so far. Probably should have scored more than that, if you're being real. And he's playing in a team that just doesn't do any kind of activity. Like, it might create a chance here and there, but when you actually look at it and look at how we're playing, it's just there's nothing there at all. Our wingers just don't do enough. Doku, I might just praise him for how some games he can really deliver. It's not consistent enough. Him and Savinho are not consistent enough at the moment, and we need a world-class winger to do that job. So we've got more experience, and you got Jack there, but Jack's not even playing anymore. And he's in the summer.
He just exists. He just exists.
He's just on the bench.
I was there.
And no one will pay his wages, to be honest.
I was at the ground today, and
True.
I'll defend I'll defend Doku to the hilt, because he was one of a few players today who yes, I understand the criticism around the end product. I think it is getting better, but today he was one of our better players, and it's just nice to see players playing for the shirt, because a lot of times this season it's felt like certain players have just drifted through games and they've let the occasion pass them by. They've accepted that we're in this moment and we're going to be in this moment until, for me, it just feels like there are certain players that are in the squad that know they're not going to be in the squad at the end of the season. So why bother? What's the point? So, you know, it's difficult sometimes when you watch Doku, because again, you can see the magic, the brilliance when he's skimming down the wing and he's cutting in. But you know, what would have been, what is the alternative? I mean, in terms of today, because if you'd have had Grealish there, for example, I've seen it enough times this season. You know, it would have been a case of getting the ball to Grealish doing the fake feint that he does. And we all know he's not going to take anyone on because he hasn't done all season, and he'll pass it back and cut it back here into midfield. So, you know, my issue, my opinion is that the creativity is not coming through. It's not coming through the middle. That's how we're set up to play. That's how Haaland's set up to play. Haaland is the best finisher in the world when he's running onto balls. When the balls are going in front, he's got something to run onto. He's getting in behind defenders. For whatever reason, we're having to adapt a little bit and change. So the ball, instead of it going through to the midfield, it's going into the midfield and then straight out to the wing, straight out to Doku or Savio. And, you know, Haaland's being made to play in this way that doesn't suit him. And we can see it because he's not scoring. You know, I know he got a penalty today, but aside from that, can anyone else remember what, you know, any big chances that were made for Haaland? Because I can't.
One of them by Doku, actually. The one that he put straight into space.
There we go.
But to be fair, the ball did come into Haaland a bit poorly. It was close.
By the way, by the way, sorry, I just so we know we are. Trust me, we know we are. And I thought that in Patrick's stream before I came on this one, that it wouldn't surprise me if next season will not go straight away either. I'm accepting it, but I'm perfectly ready for a rebuild. And I know it's not going to take us. It's going to take us a while to get going again. So I'm not going to, you know, I'm not expecting to perform miracles here. So anyone thinking that will instantly become the City of old next season needs to realise that's not how it works. We need to build a team and the start. We need to give the new team when we get through in the summer time to gel. I'm not sure what's happened there. Hold on, bear with me. So it's got two links now appearing out of nowhere. But yeah, hold on. If I just remove that one, add this one. Does that? Hold on.
You're still there, Mateus?
yeah. My Wi-Fi is moving.
I'll come back. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I've got some statistics here on Doku, and this is my problem with Doku. You want to hear them?
I've just before you go on your statistical, let me just ask here, Lewis, yeah, why is there's not creativity in the middle?
Why isn't there any creativity in the middle?
Yeah,
I think it's the problem at the minute is it's the players that are playing there. I think, you know, if you look at certain players like Gundogan, the ability to read the game is somewhat diminished. You know, Nico's been put in there essentially, you know, to stabilize the midfield against the counter attacks. But we don't have a David Silva in the team anymore. We don't have a Kevin De Bruyne in the team anymore. We do have Kevin De Bruyne in the team, but it's not the Kevin De Bruyne that we used to. It's not Kev, is it? So you know, a lot of the plays that we relied on. No, I know that we knew
that before the season starts.
Bring more players in then. You know, for me, the big one, mate. Yeah. To answer your question very quickly, some of it has to come to Pep. It has to, because, you know, McAtee should have started more games this season. He should have had more minutes. The fact that he didn't come on again today for me was appalling, because he's one of our only really creative players at the minute.
Yeah, the thing is, we knew that we had big problems in the midfield before the season starts, because for the Pep Guardiola side, that we all praise him because of the style he plays, the way he plays football, in terms of the teams that he managed, up until now, always seems to play through the middle. The quality was in the middle of the park. Either you can think about the likes of in Barcelona, even when he had Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, Yaya Toure in there, going to Bayern Munich, Toni Kroos, lots of top players in there. Coming to Manchester City, we had David Silva, KDB younger, then we had KDB, Gundo, Rodri in there. But your captain left after the treble. So you knew that you would need a creative midfielder in there because your second captain got a big injury that he needed surgery, and he would not be at his level. I'm talking about last season, by the way. But yet, we still managed to win the league because Phil Foden stepped up. And the second half of the season, KDB came back. He looked really fresh. Yeah. However, you go into another summer where you hesitate to go into the market and bring another midfielder in, and you gambled. Because let's face it, we were not planning to sign anyone up until Barcelona got rid of Gundo. We didn't want to sign anyone. We had Savio came in, but that was it. That was it. And I'm like, we're going to a season where really,
the main issues with this season were created prior to the season starting.
To be fair, I'll even go back to the summer before that. I think a post-treble season, we kind of got focused so much on Jude Bellingham rather than actually getting in a proper midfielder in to help us out. Like Kovacic for me was fine as a squad player, but Núñez was not the player that we should have gone for. He wasn't. I mean, people can say otherwise, maybe differently, but I think he's the right player for us that we should have gone for, and I think it's more of a panic buy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was because we were meant to go for the Newcastle number 10. That's what the main target.
Like, I think with
not Newcastle. Sorry, West Ham. Sorry,
Paqueta,
yeah.
But we were also supposed to go for the Bruno Guimaraes last summer. It's 2 summers in a row. That's a problem. It's not one singular summer. It's after the treble, we knew Kyle Walker was washed. Let's be honest. He was the type of player who could do 90 minutes and then he would be terrible for the next 5 games. He was already at that stage in the treble. It just got progressively worse and worse throughout the 4th-beat season. He should have been gone before the 4th-beat, but Pep had that dinner with him and kept him. He should have been gone after the 4th-beat. We kept him. We've neglected right backs and left backs for a while. We've neglected midfield for a while. What's the last time we signed? What's the last left back we've signed, by the way? The last full back period we've signed.
Well, the last left back was Benjamin Mendy, and the last full back was John Cancelo in 2019. Yeah. That was 6 years ago.
And Cancelo, he barely played as a fullback. For all the quality he had, he was barely a fullback.
Forgetting someone. Angelino was the last one, wasn't it? Last left back. He came in after Mendy, did he? Or didn't he?
No, Mendy came after, I believe.
Did he? Did he?
Yeah. Angelino was there. Angelino. Yeah. I think Angelino came in really early. But
he came in 2019. 2019 he came in.
Was it?
Yeah, 2019. And Mendy. Let's have a look.
Mendy was a year.
Mendy was the year before.
Mendy came in the same season as Bernardo Silva. That was 18. Yeah, that was an 18.
And the double swoop from Monaco.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure, right.
Hi, sorry, having internet issues. So if I just
the problem is, guys. My issue is, I accept, having a few players out of form, but when is the whole squad, like the entire squad, it's just not at it? There has to be questions asked. Why even the new guys that we've just signed 3-4 weeks ago, they seem to struggle as well.
Well, they're adjusting to Pep ball. That's going to happen.
No, it's not though. Because you have, if you bring someone in January, the idea is you're in big trouble. You're going to have to simplify a bit and get these new guys in. Pep is not adapting to the fact that he's got new players in. Why don't you use his style of football? You've got to adapt, and Pep is doing anything but adapting.
In my opinion,
I get it.
The reason, you know, I mentioned this today to one of the lads traveling back from the game. You know, if you look at the elite teams, I can't stand Real Madrid. I hate talking about them. But if you look at these elite teams, you know, they're constantly bringing in new players. Now, I'm not saying that model necessarily works for us, but if you look at some of these lads that are still in the squad, you know, bringing Gundogan back, Bernardo Silva still being in, they've won everything. They've done the treble, won four on the bounce. You know, mentally, what does that do to a player? What more can they do? And it's easy for us to sit here and go, oh, well, you know, win the Prem again. Why wouldn't you want to win the Prem again? But, you know, for some of these players, I think mentally they're just at that point where we should have moved them on. And we've now got a culture within the changing room where there's no hunger there. You see it today. You see it today, and your question is like, you know, why is everyone out of form? Well, it's there's obviously an atmosphere there at the moment, and it's not going to change until we get some of these lads out and get, you know, young, hungry lads in who haven't won anything with City. It's one of the reasons why Kushnov has been so good, because he was a relatively unknown player, you know, young lad, lots to prove, lots to win, and he's come in and he's, you know, he's played his heart out, he's played for the shirt, and we love that, and we vibe with that. But we don't see that from other players. All I see from Bernardo Silva, you know, and Ruben Diaz towards the, you know, a few months back, coming out and saying, oh, you know, we know we're not good enough, but we're going to improve. Well, where's the improvement? Because you're doing the same thing week in, week out.
It's the same thing.
Not there.
And they always come out with the motivational speech. Every weekend.
Every week now. Every week someone says something different.
I'm getting tired of that.
It's all talk. Who really care? It's on the pitch.
Yeah,
we already
turning into United for that, aren't we? Bring out statements every week.
Talking about Kushnov, by the way, he had to clean up after the Diaz. Diaz made a few mistakes where Kushnov had to clean up after him. Shouldn't it be the other way around? I'm sorry, Diaz was our captain.
I don't think
he was
Diaz
our worst defender.
I really don't think
Diaz is terrible.
It's not about.
I think he's been injured all season.
About fitness, because Diaz has been poor even in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And today, you literally went the armband. I'm sorry, but when was the last time we actually saw Diaz commanded the defense, talk to the players in his back line? As soon as we conceded, the heads drop. Every single one of them. Where's the captain?
I've said it for the last few years, but our most solid defender is Nathan Ake. I know, obviously, he's getting injury prone, but he is our most solid defender.
Yeah, he is.
That's why I keep him
in the line.
Rafael Leao, by the way, I like him, but I don't.
For a long time.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
His CA is not as good as you think.
You want to talk inconsistent? Oof, that guy'll drive you crazy.
Rafael,
that was scary.
Americans and that guy.
Rafael Leao.
That guy's not the answer.
They're both very similar players. They're both pretty good, but overall, I'm not going to say they're probably world class. So they're good players. They're probably turn up doing better. But
I watched PSG and Liverpool on Wednesday, bro. When I was watching that Kvaratskhelia fella, man, I was like, oh my.
That's also why I wanted, man.
I was like, why can I have down on my left hand side
players for 60 million? They're getting 100 million pound players for 60 million. But there's some shady shit going on.
Bro, we
gotta get in on that.
Ball. His take on is amazing.
Preach to the choir, mate. Preach to the choir, Sean. We all want to see Echeverry. Not even starting game.
He's not even in the squad. And after Bob, where's he?
10 minutes.
Oscar Bob, the missing man. Where is that's a great shot. Where is Oscar Bob?
Where's Bob? Who knows that from the 90s? What about Bob?
Yeah, but
I'm starting to think something's happened to Bob.
Yeah, but we won't see this young player right now, because we're in the battle for top 4 or top 5. and every game we go into now is a final. And when you're playing finals, when every game is a must-win game, we need to start picking up results. Otherwise, we might drop out of the Champions League. Pep will always go with the players that he trusts.
Yeah.
The old guard to go out there and get him Champions League football. However, these same players that he's trusting, some of them they know that they're going in the summer. So whether the club make Champions League or not, they don't care because they don't want to be here. They won't play in the Champions League.
I think some of them will be here though, unfortunately, because we can't get rid of them.
Get some young players in that they see a future in the club. All right, I need to go out there because I need to play Champions League for this football club next season.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with a lot of them next year. Who's paying Bernardo Silva $300K a week to get 5 G&A for the whole season? Who's going to do that? Who's going to pay? So we're going to be stuck with him next season.
He's still outplayed. Who's going to pay for
why do you not put O'Reilly in that midfield?
Kyle Walker's not on $300K a week, though.
Big up O'Reilly.
Still a lot of money for the right back as tragic as him. Who's going to pay for the Gundogan? Gundogan has decent wages as well.
Turkey. I think Turkey somebody might.
Listen, get these boys flogged off to Saudi. I don't care who takes them. I couldn't care for how much. I'm not asked. Honestly, don't care. Have it for free. We'll have a.
I just don't think they will.
We'll have a car boot sale.
Nobody's paying $250K a week for 10 games this season of John Stones.
We'll have a car boot sale. Yeah.
But at the same time, Pep Guardiola also needs to be ruthless with his backroom staff. Because it's not acceptable, that our defense looks worse season after season. Where's the defensive coach? Our set piece,
Lilo, isn't it? Juanman Lilo, get rid of him. He's a yes man. He's not telling Pep what the problems are. He's just like, oh yeah, that's fine.
I said it every time we go. Every time we get a corner, we may as well just give the ball to the opposition rather than wasting 30 minutes. Because we're not doing anything with
on our corners.
The other way around too. How tragic is our defending?
Exactly. Even when we're defending corners, it's embarrassing at times.
Yeah, that's set piece coach to us as well.
A goalkeeping coach needs to go. How come the two, number one and number two, they just waste everything? It's like we're changing. We put one and hope that he performs. He's just going to drop a stinker. Then we change it again. Both goalkeepers have been poor.
Ortega is actually surprising me. I thought he's better than that.
We play one game a week.
You know what? Ortega is better than what he showed today.
Yeah, I agree.
Ortega's better than what he showed today. Listen, he didn't have a great game today.
No, he didn't have a great game. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that he should have done better is on that free kick. But at the same time, I don't look at the players anymore. Something is wrong because Ortega is a quality goalkeeper at the moment. Even not against Brighton. The last game he played, he was all over the place. I'm like, bro, you shadow yourself.
It's a problem. Go on, Luke.
Sorry. My mate Alex actually does the podcast with me and Danny here a lot. He sent me a message actually that I also tweeted it out that I think perfectly sums up the issues going on at the club. Now, it's got a bit of traction. Some people don't like it because obviously the truth hurts. Lads, the truth does hurt. So these are the issues. Seems to get prices, the recruitment, the tactics, the twist, the liability, the fucking nonsense of 115, the excuses, the fan base arguing with one another, half and half scarf, the wank half-time shows, light shows, defensive quality, it's shite. And I was like, perfectly.
Is that all? They actually do halftime shows? I didn't think that.
They do.
We do like the light shows. The more Champions League nights we do that, to be fair.
That's American.
It's only Champions League.
They've already said they're doing it for the World Cup final next year.
Last time we did was Derby.
I'll be honest. I'll hold my hand up now, low key. I'm one of those guys that publicly be like, yeah, I don't like these light shows, and I'll go down and be like, this is quality. But yeah, get rid of the light shows.
Caldoon was there?
We don't need the derby.
Light a fire under some asses then.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle.
Yeah. Big up.
What are the tourists going to watch if we don't have a light show? You got to think big picture here, people. It's not about the football anymore.
If Caldoon was there, he should piece together why the atmosphere is such crap. Like, because I mean, what the prices, the tourists, like, who was it? I think it was Ryan on Twitter. He had like his video. I only saw part of it. His little video. You know, he posts those little short clips, and he was like,
"Yeah, we
you can't get an atmosphere if you don't have the same people coming and singing the songs." And I'm like, "That's a very good point, Ryan." So shout out Ryan for that, making a great point. Because there's no season ticket holders coming in, so these people aren't going to keep singing the songs and bringing the energy. Very good point he made.
I'm sorry, right, but the thing is, how does the club expect to have great atmospheres and great match days, right? If you're just going to start pricing out fun, like £61 minimum for a game against Brighton. Now, big up Brighton; they're a good team. I like Brighton Albion, and no disrespect to them at all. But this is against mostly ticket prices. £61. That's like what, like $75 something American? I'm gonna guess. Assume roughly around the.
But see, that's not going to work on me because that is considered cheap for American tickets. But I understand that we have more income here.
You're the demographic, Kel. You're the demographic. That's what that's cheap. It's cheap. Wow, okay, that's a bargain.
Yeah, 61 pounds is like $80. If you go to an NFL game, it's a couple hundred. Usually,
wow.
Yeah, it's a couple hundred for like the nosebleed seats, and it's like
NBA
games are really expensive. NHL, well, actually, I'm going to find out next week. I think.
Do you know what though? Talking about
it's expensive though. Unless Messi's playing, and then it's $1,000 a ticket. It's ridiculous.
Coming back to the ticket situation, nothing will change. Nothing will change. Well, I say that. Apparently, there are changes coming in, but the core fan base, the 35,000 core fans, who go week in, week out. You've got to take it into your own hands. It's not going to change. We all just jump on these streams and because we've been doing that all season. So the club obviously don't care from that perspective, right? They're not asked. So we need to force something. Make it clear that we're not happy and it can't continue, because otherwise, it will continue.
I'm going to bring up a point I'm going to want to hear, but
I said before though, sorry, on Lewis's show though, that the way this is going, it's going to be a protest outside the stadium. It's going to happen. The more you piss the fans off, the local core fans, even the ones coming from abroad as well, because you shouldn't be paying ridiculous prices for anything about any game is priced for everyone. It should be fair for everyone coming over, not inflated on a third-party website.
Yeah, but here's the
problem. Yeah, that's what I did. I paid almost $300 to go to the game I went to 2 years ago.
Luke did mention if this video gets what was it 7 likes, he's going to chain himself to the goalpost next game. All right, sweet. I can't wait for that, mate.
Jesus Christ!
Flip it up, guys. We need to keep him close promises.
Flip it up, man. No.
but no, here's the problem, Luke. For the Americans, it's not too expensive. For the Americans, they have higher income. Like factually speaking, the country has a more inflated. It's a more inflated economy. So they're going to come over here. They're going to think, oh, £61. Chill, I'll do that. So they will not protest. And the club, they don't mind if that stadium is selling less but more expensive tickets, because that's what they're doing. They're selling less tickets, but they have a better profit margin on those tickets. So you can sell less and make more. And if you then continue to sell more again, if you maybe increase the season ticket holders by maybe 1,000, oh wow, you'll appease the fans. Now all the fans will be happy. They'll be going again because you do your political stuff. You try to appease them. But in reality, you're not changing anything. They're just trying to play the fans. They don't care. Like, it's that simple. When they say they're going to make change, they're not going to make change. The only way they make change is if fans are walking out of the stadium after 5 minutes. That's the only way. But
no,
that's 5
they
minutes.
still get their money that way, though. That's the problem. That won't work because they still have your money. It's like people burning shirts for the players when they already paid the money for the shirt.
Yeah, but
or getting rid of their Teslas because they don't like Elon. Hey.
Yeah, but they don't make money with season ticket holders. They don't make money with those.
They make some money.
They don't make money from the stadium.
Because when we talk about tourists, yeah, you've seen like at the Etihad, there's people coming from all over the globe, and those people, yeah, they spend £500 to £600 on a match day.
Yeah,
because they'll be queuing over the city store to get all sort of kits. They'll be spending a lot of money on the concourse, and they'll spend a lot of money on their tickets. That's
if the club
the
made
money
in
one
if
day.
the club made money,
ticket. Sorry,
those kind of
I was just
people
going to say,
show up if the team's not good.
If the club made money off season ticket holders, we wouldn't be in this position, and they would be doing more to get us in. The fact is, they're not doing that. Yeah. So they obviously don't. You're right. They don't. I'm a season ticket holder. Go week in, week out. You know who's travelled from afar because they've been to the club shop. They've got 3 or 4 tops. You know, they might have paid for match day parking. You know, this hotel that they're building. Who do you think that's for? The season ticket holders? Yeah. No, obviously
they came to the ground with bags, big bags in their hands.
Yeah, but that happens in Tottenham, by the way. Like Gabster said earlier, they won't come if it's shit. Look at Tottenham right now. They still have those tourists coming in because it's a nice-looking stadium and all of that. I honestly, if I'm being honest, the only way to fix this from a club level is have someone who cares about the club. Carl Doon does not care about the club. He's a businessman.
That's the fact. Soriano and Calderon are businessmen.
The problem is, as a business, we've got to, like, if you think just thinking on the business side of things, we've got I think we've got 34k season ticket holders or 36, if I'm not wrong. I think 36k season ticket holders,
something like that.
And our ground capacity.
This comment is correct. This is FFP and PSR stuff. That's why you raise your match revenue. And how do you raise your match revenue? Is by raising prices.
PSR.
So the system
is the reason this issue.
The stadium is 56k capacity, somewhere around that, and you've got 36k season ticket holders. That's a lot as a business. When you look at Manchester United, you look at Liverpool, they've got a bigger stadium, and their season ticket holders only like 24, 23k.
Yes,
and
but
the club as a business, they need to reduce the number of season ticket holders. They won't tell you straight to your face. They will just increase the match day ticket.
Yeah, you're correct. But don't think about it as a business.
The footage of this,
they will change the policy because if you remember years ago, you only need to have to go to 12 games a season. Now they changed it to 14 games policy, and if you miss a game, you get a text message straight away. You missed that game. Make sure you attend this sort of amount of games, otherwise you won't be able to renew your season ticket the following season.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, as you said, they're trying to decrease season tickets as well. But here's the thing. I'll always use Club Brugge as example because that's my other team. Club Brugge, CEO, was born as a Club Brugge fan, grew up watching this team winning titles. He went to the stadium as a child. He's still in the stadium every single day. Every single day, he's in the stadium watching the team. That guy, we have 20,000 season tickets holders, something like that, for the stadium with not even 40,000 capacity. We want to move to a bigger stadium so that we can increase the season tickets holders. Because our CEO is saying, we don't have enough season tickets. Half the stadium is season ticket holders, more than half the stadium. And we want to increase it. We're thinking about it as a business, and Maltese is completely correct as that. The problem is exactly that. We should not think about it as a business. Football is not a business. It is a business, but it's not a business at the same time. It's only a business in the sense that you can entertain people. The moment you stop entertaining people, the moment you start pissing off your fans, it's no longer a business. Now it's just there's no market for that anymore. I'm saying the name of a Belgian team, Club Brugge in English.
Yeah.
Club Brugge.
Not Club Bugger. Yeah, not
I love how you say Kevin De Bruyne because you could actually have the correct accent.
Yeah, the actual way of saying it.
Kevin De Bruyne.
The owners of
I can't.
The owners of the club, I say the owners of the club, the fans own the club. Said this many times. Me and Luke have said this on previous streams, but they're just custodians. They look after the club until they sell it to someone else. But the fan base own the club. The club is bigger than a piece of paper with a signature on at the end of the day, and it always will be. So regardless of trying to price us out and whatnot, at the end of the day, City will be here long, long after a lot of the people who make these decisions and long after us. So, we just got to stick with it. It will get better, I hope. Just be positive, I think. But you got to make your voice heard as well. If you go into the grounds, we need to do something. Something needs to be organised if it doesn't get better. Then we need to take the club back. This is a family. This is a community club. Has been, for years and years and years. I found it funny, they renamed the stadium City in the Community today, and that was a big deal. That was a big thing. How can it be City in the Community if you're charging 60 quid a ticket for Brighton? You're charging £70 or whatever it is for Champions League games. How is it City in the Community? We have one of the poorest fan bases in the Premier League, and that's just fact. Factually, we do. We've got one of the poorest demographics of income, right? So where do you expect all these people to get the money from to come to these games, to come to Wembley 6 times a season? They can't, but they don't care because they want the tourists to come, because they will come. So we got to put it on them. We got to put it on them.
Okay, but going to Wembley 6 times a season, that's like just I think most people don't mind that.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
I'll answer what you said in a minute, but bring up a comment from Steve Blackhead. Bloody expensive in Belgium. England is factually speaking more expensive, so shush. You're more expensive. You know how expensive it is to go to a pub in England, bro. I can't go to England, bro. Yeah, it's way too expensive over there.
Oh, because the euro is so low.
Yeah, Lewis. The problem with this ticket system is this has been going on for years now, but because we were winning, we were like, okay. But when you don't win, and when the fans start not seeing performance on the pitch, you kind of start taking a step back and start looking around. What the fuck is going on here? We've got people going to the ground to open barber shop.
Could have done with that today, to be fair. Could have done with the trim. That'd have been all right.
Get in. Like, you must not have getting Clippers in. Like, come on, man.
Anfield away. I wrote Barcelona fans.
Oh, yeah, those people with like those 9 guys with the Spanish shirts. I forget which ones they were, but that was BS. Especially for away fans, man. That should be all.
Exactly.
That should be all. That should be all the normals.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Because we bring international footballers. We expect international fans to come in and watch them. So you see in the stadium.
I'll taste this bit.
He's frozen again.
Either that or he's sneezing. You never know. Could be a big one.
Hey, for once, it's not my internet. I've had internet problems all day. So.
Steve, that's short fault for going to. That's short fault for going to Ostend, though. Never go to Ostend. Some advice for people who want to go to Belgium: don't go to Brussels. Don't go to Ostend. 2 worst cities in Belgium. Charleroi arguably third worst. Never go to those 3. If you want to go to the sea, go to Blankenberge.
The atomium's pretty good.
All that out.
Joe, here's the question, right? And the thing is, after I on the stream, I was there for people as well calculated now. I'll ask this again, right? Now, a lot of people are assuming that next season we'll just go into next season with a fresh new squad and we'll go again and we'll be the best team in the league. No. By the season, and bear in mind, 1920, it wasn't even that bad, really. it wasn't perfect. We were way off Liverpool, but you consider the fact we actually weren't that better this season. We were able to at least come off with a little bit of like respect towards the end. The problem is with this season is we are so bad at the moment, or so consistent at the moment. Where it's like all over the pitch. This is not going to be a very easy fix over one summer. This is going to take a while for us to get at least back to a good level again. And I think next season, the target should be playing good football again and competing on all fronts. That's what I want to see. Look, trophies obviously come with the actual with good football and playing well. But the thing is, you can't expect us to go from playing absolutely terrible and being out of most all competitions, apart from the FA right now, to then going on to win everything again next year. It doesn't happen. Even if Hurts comes in, which by the way would be a great signing, it's not immediately going to fix everything straight away. I think people in the fan base need to accept that it won't be a very easy fix. This is summer.
Where
you know what?
See with the start. Go on, yeah.
Go on, mate.
See when you talk about things will improve when we get a new players. See, how many players do you think we're going to get in the summer?
I can 5
because I don't see us bringing more than 3 players. I think we're going to bring someone to play right back, and I think we'll add one midfield, maybe not. But I don't see that many. I don't see that many players coming through the door. I generally don't, because let's say we had the right back. Let's say Cambiasso was playing today. Yeah, he would just do the same as what Rico Lewis was doing, tuck into midfield.
Yeah.
He would not go overlap into wingers.
I think that's why one person to invert, not 2. That's the problem.
See, the problem I've got here, we have to reverse back to the Centurion season, the way we had fullbacks like going up and on the pitch, because
we don't have fullbacks.
This football, this football that inverts into midfield is not going to work anymore.
No,
it's not.
It's been found out.
Do you know what? I just want to We'll put a bit of. I'm going to try and put some perspective in here, and hopefully a bit of positivity. But when I grew up and supporting City, we were it was rough being a City fan in school. When I was growing up, you had the Middlesbrough game 8-1, getting battered by United every season. The Stuart Pearce managerial run. At the highlight of the season, the highlight for me was when we had Sven in and we did the double over United, Benjani goal. I've always said, and maybe I'm wrong. This is just my personal opinion, but I know where we've been because I've seen it, and I've always said, you know what, if we get a trophy a season, that would be absolutely incredible. For me. I remember when we won the FA Cup. I remember leaving my house that day with the City flag. I was running up and down my street, going crazy. I ran to all the United fans' houses that were my mates, taunting them outside. And I grew up with that, and I remember that as well. So it's all about perspective. Sometimes you need to take a breath, don't you, and realize, things are bad now, but that's not allowed. I know. Like, how dare I? But honestly, we go on to win an FA Cup this year, right? And we can do it. We can win the FA Cup. We win an FA Cup, yeah. That season is better than 34 years or whatever it is of Tottenham's seasons. Whenever they last won a trophy, so it's all about perspective, isn't it? It's all about perspective. We'll be back next season, and it'll be much better. We just got to ride it out. Get top 4. That's the aim. Just get top 4.
I think we will. I'm the only one who seems to think that.
I think we probably get Champions League, but I don't think we're going to get top 4 anymore. I think we'll narrowly scrape top 5. And like, I look at the rest of our games, that's like, I want to say all of those games we should win, because we should win against Brighton. Like, there's a lot of games that we should win that we're not winning. If we can't beat Brighton at home, I'm not sure what game we can win. Leicester away, It's away, I believe, or is it at home?
No, it's at the Etihad. We already played at King Power.
Yeah. Okay, so Leicester at home, we should win that.
We have to win that. That's a must-win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But so was Brighton, in my opinion, too. Crystal Palace at home, that's a tricky game. That's a tricky game for us.
We're underselling Brighton, though. Brighton are a very good team in very good form. So I'm pissed we didn't win because I think we had the chances to, but it's not like there's some relegation bums. They're actually really good this season. So it's not as terrible as I thought it was going to be.
They're really good by their own standards. But that's the same thing I said about Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is really good by their own standards. Factually speaking, if Man City has the same amount of points right now as they get at the same amount of games played last season, we will be top of the league or second in the league or something like that. We will be way ahead of Nottingham Forest, of Brighton. The Premier League is very weak right now, I think. It's not as strong as last season. Liverpool is the only decent side in the Premier League. Got absolutely destroyed by PSG. A PSG team that I think will struggle once they get Real Madrid. A weak Real Madrid, who will probably blaze past Arsenal. The Premier League is not good this season. And Man City is struggling so much in that Premier League. Nottingham Forest, we could have done better than a loss. I'm not saying we should have won it, but the way we lost was lethargic at best. Brighton, you can call them good if you want. Compared to last season, they might be better in the league, but if you played that Brighton team from last season against the Brighton team from this season, last season's Brighton team probably wins, because the rest of the Premier League has dropped in quality as well, which is why we are top 5. We will not be top 5 right now in the Premier League of last season. We honestly won't, because the level was a lot higher. And I can't say with confidence we'll get top 4. I can hope for the top 5. And if we now turn a corner after the international break, then we should probably get top 5. But you know what? Yeah, this team has it just keeps beating you up. Whenever you have a little bit, just an inkling of hope, it beats you down. They bring out slippers and they beat you down. I can't describe it. I've rarely had this type of feeling watching football. And I watched Club Brugge. Growing up, I watched Club Brugge in the 2000s. We bottled 5 league titles in like 10 years' time. Like when I say bottled, we were top of the league. Last day of the season, okay, bye. We lose. That is what I grew up on. We did not win a single trophy in 8 years. I saw us win 1 cup, then 8 years we don't win any trophies. Never have I felt like this constantly beaten down by watching our club. Man City, when I watched growing up, okay, we were a mid-table team, but I knew what to expect. I knew, okay, this team we can beat. That team, okay, they'll probably beat us. At Man City, I'm like, okay, roll a dice. And see who gets the highest number. There's nothing predictable about it anymore. None of the results are predictable. Pep Guardiola looks like he's lost. He looks lost.
You know that, because the thing is, right, I'm not against him trying something new. Like, it doesn't work, fine, but at least like we know you're trying something different. But every game it feels like it's another team that we've all assumed will happen again. Or this guy's in for this guy, which doesn't really do much. It's like we know what to expect now of every team. At least in the past with Pep, you kind of know at some point. It's like, okay, right, it's a little bit of a curveball, but at least you kind of know that it's going to be something positive to the game. I mean, I've been asking for Marmoush and Haaland together since the Chelsea-Newcastle game, right? And today it showed exactly why it should work. But the thing is, knowing Pep against Bournemouth, he'll drop one of them. He'll drop probably Marmoush for Kev.
Probably drop Haaland for that game.
It's like he's got to play a consistent team. Again, I get this. He sucks. I get it. I'm not sitting here asking consistently and massively improve overall. But just at least finish the season with a different way of doing it. So at least that way we can go into the summer thinking, right, well, we can get a new force of ballbacks in and go into the next season with a little bit more of a change, and we can start going again from there. But right now, I just don't know what on earth he's thinking it will work. But the reality is, it's like insanity. Same thing over again, but it's a different result. Yet we all know what happened.
where's the fun in you know, consistency and a strong starting 11? It's when has Pep ever really consistently given us what we wanted? And now I say that take that with a pinch of salt. We won a lot of trophies, but let's be honest. Pep will do what Pep wants to do, and at the end of the day, who are we to argue? Historically, I think this season maybe it's a little bit different because I think he's made decisions this season, and some of the things he's come out and said, especially again recently, I'm scratching my head a lot more at the moment. Some of the comments, I'm like, well, again, you're making a rod for your own back when you come out and say, I want to start these players, they deserve to play. And then you play, someone whose legs have gone, is not at the level anymore. But, the other thing to consider is this is the longest Pep's been at a club. So this is new territory for him, and it's probably it's going to be the biggest rebuild. I think it'll be it's a bigger rebuild than when he came into the squad. So it'll be interesting to see what he does and where he goes from here, because again, everyone is in uncharted territory.
No, what frustrated me today is it was really clear that Doku was not effective in the second half, and took everyone else off. He didn't. I'm sorry if I missed you guys talking about that earlier because I was internet issues, but that just pissed me off. I'm like, why are you taking Marmouche off when Doku's been straight crap for the entire time? They just double teamed him, and his crosses were going to no one, not even close.
It's weird, right?
They just kept with it. Like, why do you? That's when you make an adjustment and do something different. Like, it's very clear it wasn't working. Why are you just sticking with it, hoping it works?
Some fans were saying that Doku cooked. Some players was shit. Like, why fans seem
he was cooking him like he was getting past them, and then they didn't care. They wanted him to go past him because he couldn't. Like, he literally couldn't get the ball to anybody. It just went straight into a Brighton player, cleared it every single time.
I have some statistics about Doku. Here that I wanted to talk about earlier. You know how many times he attempted a dribble?
God, like 20?
19. 15 successful. Oh, okay, he's great. Did
you say 19 or 90?
19.
Okay. 19 successful. Team.
Okay.
19 dribbles, 15 successful. Expected assists, 0.14. You compare that to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland had about 0.9 expected assists.
And Erling Haaland is your striker.
Yeah. So
I can't give her a warning if Doku can't cook himself, mate. Come on, he has to get assists and contributions.
That's not me saying like Doku sucked. I'm just saying he had a bad game, and the manager should have seen that and taken him off. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, Doku. He's finished product. He's not going to improve.
Doku and Savino should be the best wing pair in the league in terms of like if they had the output, the pace and power on both of them. But the problem is, at least with Sane, you kind of knew at least there'd be more output for both of them. I'm not saying that they were near them two, by the way. Both of them were there. But the problem is we haven't got Sane was yeah. But
if he wants to shut me up on the Doku talk, then Doku needs to provide an assist or a goal.
I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna back my boy up. Right, listen, us lot who are on the Doku train, yeah. Let's get involved there, right? So,
why did you keep doing it? You answer that for me, please.
Hold on, I will. I had this. I challenged Stephen McInerney on this because he dared to slander Doku, and he's a big dog on Twitter. So I thought no, we're not having that. I was there today. I watched him. In my opinion, he was our best player, if not one of our best players. When people talk about Doku and they talk about Savio, they keep doing this thing where they keep going, oh, I'm used to having Mahrez and I'm used to Sane and I'm used to... Well, first of all, they're not those players. Secondly, the players that those players played with, you're talking about players like David Silva, you're talking prime Kevin De Bruyne. We don't have that now, yeah? We do not have that now. So if you look at where Doku and Savio, especially Doku, is receiving the ball, they're not running onto balls. Again, they're receiving the ball from the midfield and they're expected to take on seven or eight players. Let me tell you something. Doku, our wingers skinning 4 to 5 players. It's not normal. We've gotten used to it because Doku does it every single time. Now, there's been plenty of times, there's been plenty of crosses that he's put in where other players have not made the runs. They've not made the runs. I'm not saying that was the case this game. I have seen that firsthand. I go back to that Liverpool game. The balls that he were putting in, some of them were just tap-ins. But again, Mamouche, Haaland, I don't think Haaland played, did he? But Mamouche wasn't there. So give them the tools. Give that creativity back in midfield, and they will cook. I promise you, they'll cook. You know, the chance that Savio had today, where he went through onto the keeper and obviously skied it. Let's all be honest. If that had been Doku, I think he'd have put that away, but it wasn't, and it was Savio. So I think so. Yeah, I think so. I've seen him score a few like that this season.
Yeah, but Doku doesn't score it consistently. He scores one banger and then he stops scoring. Like he's very similar to Dalby actually in that regard. He scores a banger, then he disappears. Here's a good example.
I can't agree with Lewis. I can't agree with Lewis to an extent, because to be fair to Doku, yeah, how can you? Let's how to put it into words. Basically, yeah, how would you expect Doku to provide an assist when every time he's about to cross the ball, every single all his teammates apart from Haaland is camping outside the box. They're not attacking the far. They're not attacking the near post. They're not attacking the far post. They're just standing there outside the box to wait for the pass.
I have a theory on this.
The person next to them.
What's your theory?
I don't think Haaland wants to make the runs for that anymore, because I think Haaland has made so many runs in the past 18 months, and he never gets the ball to him. And I think Haaland's like, I'm saving my energy. I can't handle this.
There was a chance in this game where Doku had the ball in the middle of the park and Haaland was making the run. He was just telling him, just put the ball through, and he didn't. And Haaland was really frustrated. The problem is, as I say, that we've got players who love to run without the ball, making runs in behind. But the players behind them, they're not finding them because they can't do it. Bernardo Silva won't do it. Phil Foden,
that goes back to squad building, then.
Do you know what I mean? KDB.
What I talked about earlier this season.
He's not on the pitch.
I talked about earlier this season, and now I'm kind of talking against myself, I suppose. But earlier this season, I talked about near post runs a lot. When Doku or Salvinho cut inside, there is no near post run for Doku and Salvinho to get that ball to. And a good example.
Steve, that wasn't an easy pass. What do you mean? You cannot. It's just a long ball, just a ball over the top. How is that not easy?
What are they? Yeah, but anyhow, if we have those late post runs, maybe productivity will increase a little bit. However, what I wanted to use as an example was the assist from De Bruyne to Sane against Stoke. Both Doku and Salvinho missed. Both Doku and Salvinho missed that. Sane scored. Both Doku and Salvinho missed that. That's the prime example I can use.
Mahrez would have scored that too.
Do you know what? Listen, people talked about Mahrez exactly. The fan base was split on Mahrez, right? They were okay. People look back at Mahrez now and yeah, they look back at the contribution, and think, yeah, what a top player, right? But the same people were talking the same things about Mahrez. The same thing now. I'm not saying Doku is Mahrez, right? But give the lad a chance. He's playing in one of the worst City teams of the last however many years, to be honest with you. So see where he's at next season. He's a young lad. When did we become so reactionary?
He's only 22.
One more season.
He's young, man.
He can't do it after 3 seasons. He has to go.
No, what does age has to do with anything? You say he's only 22. Yeah, Lamine Yamal is 17.
You've always said before, right? If you're
Messi was 17 at one point, wasn't he?
You're old enough to criticise. Like Ethan Nwaneri, that game, criticism. Don't care, man.
It's not a dig at Doku though, because I like Doku. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's got the brains to play for Man City.
Ooh.
Also, and if Haaland doesn't like to work with him, that's a problem because we just committed 10 years to Erling Haaland. And I think if we have to start committing to people who can get the ball to Haaland. And that's probably going to take some trial and error. But
he's got some mad ability. He's really good. He's really talented player. But up here, I don't think it's working.
I will remember the people on the docu train. Don't worry. When we're cooking in 2 years' time, yeah, I remember. Don't worry.
2 years' time,
yeah.
over the year.
2 years' time.
He's
young, man. He's young.
Lewis, I'm gonna tell you, yeah. What day is it today? Today's the 15th of March. Yeah. Doku will not last 2 years at Man City.
He's already been here.
Flip it.
It's already been here 2 years.
I think the big thing working against Doku is his injuries. That guy cannot stay fit. And Pep has called that out, saying players who cannot stay fit cannot stay. So keep that in mind when he goes this summer.
He had injury problems even before we bought him.
Yeah. We bought him.
Savio.
I don't more for Doku than we got for Palmer. Just remember that.
Grealish clear.
For you, man. For the Doku.
Hold up,
we're better than this. We're better than this. We're better than this.
Savio, Grealish isn't.
No, come on, man. Come on.
Grealish, to be fair.
I'm not commenting on Grealish.
Won not treble, to be fair. Grealish won not treble.
Look, what do you think?
Grealish single-handedly won not treble. Not Man City.
What, Doku? Right, you know what?
Doku Grealish.
Right. For me personally, with Jack, right? Jack can be a good player, but we haven't seen it enough properly over his time here. 6 months does not make me think he's a hero. I'm sorry, I can't be doing this. For £100 million, no. Doku has shown great things over the past 2 years, but the problem with Doku is injuries and also consistency. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Doku and Coutinho on the wings for the rest of the season. Rest of the season. You haven't played the best, but give you guys a go a bit consistently. Then let's see where we are by end of May.
The best thing about Grealish was his trim, and even that's looking dead now. His trim is
shit.
I don't know what's going on with him. He's gone dead.
Bring back the
What's
headband.
going on?
Bring back the
headband.
Nunes, Claire, what are we doing here, bro? Nunes.
Nah, he's trolling.
I agree, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Carson is clear.
Nunes is not good enough for this team either. In my opinion.
See, Marmoush not on the left for me wouldn't work. I want a wing on the left. I don't want Marmoush on the left because that's a waste of time for me.
I want to see Marmoush playing Frankfurt and tucking in. Or never mind. I don't watch Frankfurt.
I'd rather have actual wingers and fullbacks than just a midfielder or a striker put on the left. That's what I'd like to see anyway.
4-4-2 diamonds.
You know what? As well, do you know what I've just realised? One of the reasons that the wingers are struggling so much. If you remember back when Kyle Walker was in his pomp, and he was striding down that wing, we had overlaps. We don't have that now because we don't have those overlapping plays. We don't have that pace. So there's another reason why the goals are drying up. Yeah.
But the manager doesn't want to overlap anymore. The manager doesn't want to overlap.
We haven't got the plays for it.
We agree with Yasko pushing up, but
I don't think that's a problem. Even when we got the players for it, I don't think we got the personnel. Well,
you need pace, man. You need pace. Gvardio's great. I love Gvardio, but he's not the fastest player in the world. He's not Kyle Walker.
Gvardio doesn't overlap.
That's what I'm saying. Why doesn't he overlap? Because he's not got the pace. He's not that type of player. He's not a left back. What I'm saying is, the wingers, we were getting more goals from the wing because we had the overlapping capability, which we don't have now. That's gone. It went with Kyle. We've seen it. When was the last time you saw it?
Yeah,
so who should we get to do that then?
Yeah. Look,
but
the problem is the manager doesn't want anyone to do that because when we went into January transfer window, we knew Kyle Walker was leaving. He wanted to go. If he really wanted to address that position, you would have put someone in the January transfer window. But you got rid of your captain, who's the only fullback that we had at the club, although he was playing poorly. But you replace it with 2 centre halves? No.
He's trying to do that trouble formation, probably.
Why didn't you go just buy 1 centre half and then 1 full back?
Yeah, but listen, Gvardiol's not going to stay. He's not going to stay at left back, is he? That's not a long-term solution. No, he's not going to stay at left back, man.
I think he is.
He's like poor at center back because he's so out of it now.
I'm telling you.
We took one of the best center back prospects.
There's not enough pace there.
Look, he's been playing there since we signed him.
I know, but why has he been playing there? Why is he there? Why has he been playing there? Because of injuries.
Moving forward.
That's what the manager wants. He signed him to play there.
No. Do you seriously think we signed one of the best young centre backs in the world to play left back? Come on.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Because I think Rob could see how good he was going forward. Because he was really good against us when he was at Leipzig.
Because the way he goes forward, he's really good going forward.
Luke, help me out here.
And if he's a center back, it's going to be difficult to get those qualities. You can get them more on the left than you can from center back, unless you put him in the John Stones role, which so far he has not done.
No,
exactly. That's what I thought we brought him in for initially, for that John Stones role. But
there's no way we brought him as a left back.
No, Lewis, he did, because if he wanted to move Vardy in the centre back position, he would have done in the summer. He would have brought in that left back and moved him into the defence.
Where is Theo Hernandez?
Well, he didn't. Even this summer coming up, he will not change Vardy as the left back.
Clip this. Next season, when we get the replacements in, that boy, he will not be left back. He will not be left back.
He will be.
Come on, Andy Robinson. Andy Robinson. I'm begging for Andy Robinson as a left back.
He's not quick enough. Not quick enough. Not got the pace. Have to have the pace.
I'm still pushing for it, though.
That
guy can cross.
We'll see.
I can tell you, that guy
Time will prove me right.
The problem is
with Vardy, right?
I promise you.
Someone that helps in the build-up. He doesn't want the pace.
Yeah, Jedi Robinson is perfect for that. I promise you. I have watched this guy for years. I think he's our best player in the USA team. Not Pulisic. It's Anthony Robinson.
But is he good?
Listen,
look, USA football too.
I love Gvardiol. Yeah, I love Gvardiol. I rate him. I think he's top quality. But long term, he's not a left back. He will not stay at left back because he's not a left back. We didn't sign him as a left back. He was put as a left back because of the resource that we had in that position.
Here's a question, guys. Here's a question, right, for you guys about Ruben Diaz, because for me, right, I know he's been a bit up and down recently, but is he not as good as he used to be, Ruben Diaz?
He has a girlfriend, that's why.
He's over the plate. He needs rest.
It's because he's not single. That's why. We know he performs much better when he's single.
Every time I watch Ruben Diaz recently, I just look and think, my God, I miss company. I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but just a leader at the back, man, just drags you through games. And we just don't have that at the moment. You know, where's that defense gone? You know, from the PSG games. Where's that defense gone, man? And he was part of that. You know, and he was our best defender. That Diaz isn't there now. Yeah, where is it?
But again, for Ruben Diaz, and I think we've all talked about this a bit, Ruben Diaz has won a forward beat. Since he arrived at Man City, he's won a forward beat, he's won a treble. Like he came in here, like his debut season, that man would die to stop a ball from going into the back of the net. He's not like that anymore.
He's not fit. I guarantee you he's not fit. He has not looked fit in 4 months.
But he was bad before those 4 months.
Okay, fair.
But the thing is, though, everyone's been playing through injury, though, at some point in the season, and that's the issue. That's the issue we've got. That's probably why we're looking at replacing the fitness team.
We keep rushing him back. Have you noticed that? I don't think he's ever recovered from his first injury because we keep rushing him back. If he makes it, if he has a groin strain, then that explains a lot. Because you're not going to be throwing your body around and slide tackling if you think you're going to rip your groin off. Of Groin muscle, whatever it is.
And also even my job.
Why are we playing a player that is not fully fit then?
Because there's no one else available. Because all the other ones are already out.
There is someone available. Well, there's someone available sitting on the bench.
I know what you're going to say, and I totally agree with you.
You bought him. You bought him, and you refused to play him because you want to play a player that is not fully fit and is not performing.
It's been a problem all season.
Well, it's not what we've been doing all season in terms of Kyle Walker, rushing back Nathan Ake. 1 minute, Nathan Ake play 45 minutes. John Stones comes in for another 45 minutes. Then we don't see them for another 3 weeks. Because we keep playing players who are not fully fit or sustain an injury because we're refusing to use the ones on the bench. At the beginning of this season, we had, I think when we went to Bournemouth, we had Sim Sabusi on the bench, but you preferred to play Nathan Ake. Then he came off with an injury after half an hour. Why?
Yeah, it's just been a non-stop cycle.
Why are you just throwing players who are not fully fit?
There's this idea that this is somehow noble. Like these people, these players are like strong mentally because they're playing injured. I'm like, this is not. This is bad. This is hurting our team. And we're performing badly because these injured players are playing. When a healthy body would be better.
You went all the way to Brazil, took a player from mid. During the season,
Real Madrid wanted him too. Real Madrid wanted
the season because you need the centre halves. Yet you're not playing them.
Is he not a player? I mean, just playing devil's advocate here. I think personally, I mean, for me at least, he's a player that in a normal season we would have signed. Probably would have even loaned him out. To be honest with you, I think we probably signed him. I just think he's one of them that the club have looked at him, Pep's looked at him and thought, you know what? Give him a year, maybe a year or two. We'll get him in the squad. I just don't think potentially it might just be that he's not ready. He's just not ready to play in the Prem.
Then don't bring him in.
I think gambling with Diaz's health to not play Reece is I think that's bad.
Yeah,
that's really bad because that could permanently affect.
When are they going to be ready then?
Exactly.
Listen, hold on.
Diaz will get hurt, and you would want Reece to have some experience. So give him some experience now.
I agree. However, there's not one club in the world that at some point doesn't buy a player for the future.
Yeah, but
it does happen.
We need players for the future.
Absolutely. I know we need him now. But all I'm saying is just playing devil's advocate. I don't think personally he was brought in for the same reason that Marmoush was brought in, or even a Kushinov. I do think he was brought in as a player to fit in for the future.
Back, Steve.
Yeah, I'd rather play him. I would rather play him. I agree with you all. I'm just saying. I think originally when
play
he came
him next to Diaz in a game and push Kusanov out to right back. Against Leicester. I want to see this against Leicester. Put Kusanov at right back because, he can go man mark Vardy or whatever.
I can promise you.
And then put Diaz and Hayes next to each other. Just get his feet wet in the Premier League because I promise you, I don't want this to happen, but I do not think Diaz is going to make it to the end of the season.
If Akanji wasn't injured,
want him to have the experience when he has to play.
If Akanji wasn't injured, we would not see Kusanov.
No, we wouldn't.
Exactly. No, 100%. And Nathan Ake. I've been saying this for weeks.
Every single week.
What you've got to bear in mind is these boys are young. I mean, I think Vitor Reyes is the youngest of the lot. And if you bring him in alongside of Diaz and there's a massive blunder, you don't know the impact it's going to have. You don't know the effect it's going to have. Kushinov, I think, is just a rare example. He's a bit of a lunatic, isn't he? He just seems like that sort of player who, can ride through it. But not every player is like that, especially at that age. So some of them you have to wrap in bubble wrap, man.
Yeah, we've got to gamble.
Here's the thing. Remember this last season, Erling Haaland, last season. He had a bad season, right? Where he actually scored in almost every game, except for a period after his injury, where we rushed him back. He was not scoring a lot in that period after his injury. Then we rested him against Aston Villa. Immediately after that, he got GA in every game, except for Fulham. And in that Fulham game, he actually played well. We do this a lot. This is not a new thing at Man City. The problem is, this time, when we're rushing players back, we've got no one else that's we've got no good squad around that player to be rushed back. Man City needs to stop rushing players back. We do it with Haaland. We will do it with Rodri. Don't be surprised when Rodri comes back and is nowhere near as good because he'll be rushed back. We keep doing this, and it's like we never learn. You can bring players in for the future. Victor Hayes for the future? Sure, great. However, we currently need Ruben Diaz to just rest 2-3 games. 2-3 games for Victor Hayes. Is that too much? If you don't trust Victor Hayes, Pulse has played already, has played well. Play him for those 3 games. Let Ruben Diaz get his rest so he can come back fully fit, or at least 90% fit.
God, the best thing Diaz could do is pull out of Portugal this break, but he won't do it.
Yeah, but these players want to play for the international team. If I'm a pro, I want to play for my national team.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, as well.
They're not paying his salary, though, so it's kind of annoying.
I don't care about it. Right. The thing is he's either got an injury or something else, because I don't know why on earth, right, isn't putting him on the bench. I'm not even asking to start games. I wouldn't mind on the bench the rest of the season. Just get him involved in the squad
right now.
Get him involved in the squad. Get him on the bench.
Get him involved, but it's too soon. For me personally, it's too soon for him to start in Prem games. I get the ask and I get the
come
need.
off the bench. He could come. He could at least make the bench. How does that sound? At least put him on the squad.
Listen, if we're 3-0 up, sure, but and again, let's be honest. Even 3-0 up, even 3-0 up is not safe because we were 3-0 up against Feyenoord, and we went on to draw that game. So it's hard, isn't it? I think it's right playing him in those FA Cup games. I think it's right because really physical games, but at a lower level. I just think stepping up, straight into the Prem at this stretch, because it's massive pressure. It's not like previous seasons where maybe we've had a little bit of a buffer. Like Pep said, we've got, is it 9 finals? 9 finals left, 9 games left. All have to win.
We're not doing great so far.
No, we don't have to win out. And I will tell you why. Everyone's creaming their pants over Bournemouth, or shitting their pants, is what I meant to say. Bournemouth just lost at home to Brentford. All of these teams are going to lose games. They're going to drop points. Fulham will lose points. Brighton will drop points. Newcastle will drop points. Chelsea have a terrible set of fixtures coming up. They're going to drop points. We don't have to win out. This is not a title race. It sucks to draw the game today, but we don't have to win out. We could still make Champions League without winning out, because all of the teams chasing it are going to drop points as well.
Yes,
let's just hope the players can't have that attitude.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but the mentality.
Can, but the fan base needs to. Have to relax.
Yeah.
Well, okay, for the players, yeah, but for the fans, we have to calm down. It's not the end of the world. Everyone's saying Bournemouth's gonna surpass us today, and they lost at home to Ferd.
If Echeverry's captain, right, of Argentina's youth team, right, he's actually a captain for his age. Why? And the players apparently respect him quite a lot. A lot of people in training. So why is he not at least on the bench to provide a little bit of? Let's see, right. If we see him on the sideline, up and down, like, yeah, here we go, and we see him on the pitch, get excited, we might have a little. I'm not saying he's going to save our season, by the way. I'm not asking him to. We have no idea what he's going to do on the pitch. Says Marmouche. You give Marmouche time on the ball or a chance of it, it'll get you a goal, because he's got 7 in 36 games this season, which is brilliant. I know it's much for Frankfurt, but it's still brilliant stats. So this is where we got to start letting the certain individuals who actually are good at getting us goals, let them do what they need to do, because I think it's obvious that the current system isn't working. So why not just let us just instead of pass the ball around constantly for no reason, just have a shot like Moose did.
Yeah,
I don't get why we don't do that enough. I know Pep's rigid, but Pep does for our own good this season. Start being a bit more selfish.
We're way off. Listen, but we're way off. We're way off that though, aren't we? Because we're still talking about Gundogan and Bernardo playing. We're way off talking about Echeverry getting in the squad. McAtee was the under-21 captain. Had a fantastic, run with those lads. Had a great,
last goal, by the way,
with the England under-21s. It doesn't always mean anything, unfortunately.
about McAtee. I think that we're trying to keep McAtee fit for the potential trade for the Worlds. I think that's why McAtee is going to play a lot. Well, he doesn't play a lot anyway, but I think we're going to try to keep him fit for the trade to the Worlds, because there's a bunch of news coming out about Worlds. Now, of course, news is middle of March. Most of it is probably nonsense, but if that's the case, I kind of understand it. Still, I want to see these guys play. Etcheverry, I think, is criminal. To not even have him on the bench. Like, here's the thing here with Pep. He's a liar. Like, call it what you want. It's mind games or whatever. It's lies. At the end of the day, it's lying. And when he lies, you can say, oh, he's misleading the opposition teams. He's misleading the fans. Yeah. You don't know what the state was of Haaland until the day of the game against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Just tell us. Because clearly it didn't help us in the game by lying. We lost 3-1. We looked lethargic. Fans need to know, if Etcheverry is not ready to play, come out and say it. If Oscar de Bob is injured, come out and say it. But the fans, like, we're constantly talking about Etcheverry, about Oscar de Bob, about McAtee. We don't know what's going on with these guys.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was wondering, where is Oscar Bob? They told you. They told us he would be back in January. It's March.
I'm going to get up some missing posters. I'll get them distributed next home game. Hopefully we can find them.
Where is he gone?
Where is he gone? I've been hearing for 2 months he's fit.
The thing is, right, the last thing I heard, right, Big Steve said about we was at Avro's home recently. He said, I'm actually almost fit. Yet we've heard literally nothing about him. Like, at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? Bob's not there when I rest the season. It's going to be obvious, but we won't see him now rest the season.
Didn't he play for an ADS game or something just to try to get some minutes into him? I thought I read that somewhere. Did anyone confirm?
I haven't heard about that.
No.
The video talks him. We say this, but I guarantee you, he's Bournemouth. He won't be in the squad. He won't be in the squad.
Well, he might. If Bernardo's actually injured, then he might.
No, he's not injured.
He's not.
No, it got taken off.
I think Bernardo's got
to get him out of international duty.
But Bernardo's got one of Pep's family captive at this point. That boy's going to keep playing. He'll keep
How
playing.
long has Bernardo?
See, the thing is, I don't think Bernardo wants to be playing. It's just Pep literally refuses to put him, like, to not play him.
Do you know what? I've said the same about Gundogan as well. That boy did not want to come and play the amount of games that he's played. No. He wanted to come in, tidy it up, last 15 minutes, chill. Yeah, he didn't come back for this, and I feel for the guy because there's games where he started and I'm thinking he don't want to be out here, man. He's just like a lamb to the slaughter. He knows his legs have gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said in the chat earlier before I logged on. We're kind of stuck with. We always have to have an 8 that's either Bernardo, Gundo, or Kovacic.
Yeah.
Because we
know what as well?
No one else.
Kovacic has been all right this season. He's been all right. He's not been as bad as people made him out to be. It all depends who you play. Yeah, man. It depends who you play.
Bad as a 6, but he's probably better. He'd probably do better as an 8, like he did last year when he was next to Rodri. It's like kind of the same thing with Nico staying back and him going forward, where he's better.
Bro, that's what I thought. What we bought Nico for, so he can sit in the 6 and Kovacic should be that box to box, and at the same time, Nico will be protecting the back line, and Kovacic will start putting some tackles in the middle of the park. But he got the new fella in and put Kovacic on the bench because he's refusing to play a 6 and a box-to-box player. He doesn't want to do that.
Well, didn't he
it's
do
either
that
one or the other.
But he did it at Spurs, right? If I remember correctly.
Kovacic has got that. He's got that ability in him.
Yeah, we done his Spurs and great. But the very next game, he changed it up.
Yeah. I think it was on the football terrace. I said it earlier that we have no consistency in the lineup. So a lot of these players are missing chemistry.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they're like just missing these passes because they're not used to playing with each other.
He brought in the same midfield that was being slow all season. After we won against Spurs, the very next game, he brought in Foden and Bernardo to play in the midfield. What's going on?
Yeah, usually it's weird because usually around this time of year is when he's like figured out what his 11 is, and he starts benching people, and it's like
no one's really
not, like during the trouble season, it was the same 11 every week. But the
no one's
gotten to that point.
No one's really mentioned it yet, but you know what? I'll put it out there, and I love the lad. We spent I felt like 20 minutes talking about Doku, but you know what's going on with Foden? Where's that lad gone? I mean, he came on today.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting sick of seeing him come on and stink up the pitch, man. Just not change the game. Where's he gone? What's going on?
10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's
right?
not minutes, is it? It's not just this game, though, is it? It's nearly all the season that we've had this issue.
You know what?
I've seen this performance from Foden even last season. Even last season, I saw this sort of performance from Foden. It's not just this season. Last season, he was stinking out places, but he would get in the box for a tap-in.
Yeah.
And everyone forget the
whole
performance because he scored.
Yeah.
He really misses Rodri.
Was the same. I said it. If he doesn't get in the box for a simple tap-in, or if he doesn't score, you don't see that guy. You don't see him on the football pitch.
I forgot he played today until Lewis mentioned him. I actually
against Arsenal away, we came out the second half. We're playing well. We scored the equaliser. Yeah, we're playing well. We look like we're gonna score the second goal, and he made a stupid pass, and they scored 2-1. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's not.
There's something. I think there's something going on behind the scenes. I don't know what, but
if he wasn't a local lad, who's come,
we'd be running him out of town.
I'm just saying right now, if Verse comes in right, and Echeverri starts getting form, Foden needs to be worried about his place in the team. Sorry, we can't be having players on for the sake of it. He has to.
Where's his place in the team? Where's his place in the team now? You're talking about Verts. Where's his place now? He doesn't get in the squad now.
I got completely cooked for asking this question by saying I don't know what Phil Foden is still. I got completely cooked for asking that question.
Because people.
I don't know what his best
position is. Because for the number 10, he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Because he's someone, he needs a player to create for him because he will score the goal. But if you play number 10, you have to provide you have to create the chances to your attacking line.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
You know what Foden is? Foden is a player that doesn't really exist anymore in modern football. He's just a 4-4-2 midfielder. Just old school 4-4-2 midfielder. That's what Foden is. That don't work for modern football, does it?
I've heard some people refer to him as an attacking 8, but we've never actually seen him play there. So
I suppose so, yeah. But here's the problem. He's a utility player, like Bernardo Silva. Remember when we had Bernardo Silva? One game midfield, next game he's right wing, next game he plays somewhere else. That's what Foden is. Problem is...
So is he the Bernardo Silva replacement?
Well, Kel, you cannot be an attacking 8, yeah? You cannot be an attacking 8 where you keep losing the ball in the midfield.
Big problem.
Give the ball away.
He doesn't have to count as well. He lacks count.
I'm okay with this too. I think Foden needs to earn his place back. He's not performing right now.
Fans criticize Mateus Nunes in midfield just because he gave the ball away against Wolves last season.
Yeah.
He did this. He did against Spurs. He did.
And when you see Bernardo Silva, Foden doing the same thing week in, week out, no one says a thing.
This is the thing as well, by the way.
I've been whining about Foden all season, for the record.
By the way,
there's video evidence of this.
Lewis, by the way, Lewis, are you at the game, right? Did Haaland walk right down the tunnel to the game? From what was that right?
I'm not sure. I'd be lying if I wasn't looking, mate. As soon as the whistle went, I was out. I was out, mate.
People were saying, and I'll be honest with you, I can't blame him, but the guys
I have seen him
10 years.
Yeah. I have seen him. Yeah, you can tell he's frustrated at the moment. You can see it in his body language. To be fair, Man City tone big up there for the shout out to everyone. But no service. he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be frustrated. I would be, because again, we're playing the football that we're playing at the moment. The way that we're playing, you know, where everything's coming through the wing. It's not his style of play, and it drives me insane because he's always going to have two or three people on him. So it's going to be nigh and impossible for him to get anywhere near the ball when it's crossed in. Right. Most of these defenders are either, you know, slightly bigger, you know, or the same size. You get 2-3 of those lads around him, he's going to really struggle. Right. He's a much better player, and we all know this, when he's got the balls, when he's got those through balls coming in. Someone mentioned it earlier on in the chat where the through ball, we're just not playing them. We're not playing the through balls. But when we do, he scores. Yeah, that's it. They can't. So, you know,
and that's squad planning. We can't fix that until the summer.
Hey, we can't.
And when Roger comes back, let's be frank.
I think we can, but here's the thing with Haaland, and like you're saying, Haaland isn't like at his best when you're crossing balls into him. He's still good, but if Haaland is getting marked by 3 players, that means there's other space there. You get Haaland on the far post, you get someone on the penalty step, and you get someone on the near post. Suddenly, you can't mark Haaland with 3 players unless you want to drop everyone back into your own box. Now you start shooting from outside of the box. Works great if you have Prime De Bruyne, Prime David Silva, and maybe Gundogan or something like that. Rodri. We don't have that. No. So we're not forcing ultimatums. This is what we need to do. Erling Haaland, you force ultimatums. Either you concede through Erling Haaland, or you mark him so heavily that you concede from someone else. Yeah. We can't force that ultimatum right now. You can play with Haaland, cutting the ball back. You can play with him through the wings. You can play with him through the middle, because he's just that good. He will score anyways. Yeah. But there's one prerequisite.
Teams are happy to concede to someone else, dude. They're like, make someone else beat us. Yeah. And so far, no.
When we had Silva and De Bruyne cooking, we had 4 or 5 players scoring 15, 20 goals in the squad. 4 or 5 of them, you know, we're so far off that now. It's unbelievable. All of the goals essentially come through Haaland, and the you know, essentially bar a couple of wonder goals from Gvardiols. They're dried up. The rest of the squad has just completely given all responsibility to one player, and we've become so one-dimensional because of it now. And that's been one of the issues this season. Is, you know, put all your players around Haaland. Losing Alvarez was a massive one, because at least last season when they were doing that, like you said there, Alf, it opened up space for players like Alvarez to come in and clean up and get the goals. But when Alvarez left, and all of a sudden it was just Haaland, well, it became simple. Put 2 or 3 players on him, and it's a stifle attack. It's
a recruitment problem. Yeah.
Yeah, getting rid of Alvarez with no replacement until January was a mistake.
That was a silver bullet for the season. That.
Because also, and to be fair,
because
I think this was the problem last season. Like, it was only Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland scoring.
Yeah, but because you selling a 30 plus GA and replace with no one. And the season before, you got rid of Mahrez. Yeah, he wasn't consistent, but he was an input player. So you had Mahrez.
Like, what, he scored 15, 20 goals last season?
You had Mahrez, Alvarez, who, even when your striker is having a day off, they would still bang. Tottenham at home. Mahrez comes on, bang, hat trick. You know, we're not losing space. Do you know what I mean? You got rid of Mahrez, yeah. Phil Foden stepped in. Alvarez was always do what Alvarez does, scoring, assist, whatever. Haaland was scoring goals, yeah, cool. 12 months after, you sold Alvarez. You sold Alvarez, and you didn't replace it. So you basically just rely on your big man up front and maybe Phil Foden if he carries on with his performance. But it's not happening.
Game.
The big man is still scoring, by the way, but the others around him, when you look around, I haven't got Alvarez and I haven't got Mahrez. What I've got is Savio. The guy can't score in the brothel.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
I think we expected a little more from Savio.
On the other side, he's really quick. Take players on. When he gets in the box, brain freeze.
Alfredo, mate. If I lack a server, he'd be fucked as well. So no strikers to save us right now. We need correct midfielders and not strikers. Bring up Bojanov, yeah. Bring up Bojanov.
He's the goat, though.
I do really. I'm happy they brought Marmouche in. I'm going to agree with Tone here, but
exactly. This I agree with.
It will take Marmouche time, and I've been very firm about saying this. I don't think we're going to get the best out of him until we fix our midfield because there's they can't get him the ball. So I like what I'm seeing though, and I want to see it every game unless he's physically unable to play.
Marmouche, Nico, of Vito Hayes, even Savinho probably as well. I'm giving him this year because this year's been shit because the squad ain't good enough. But when the squad's finally got quality again, and let's say something like that, and then is it good again next year for certain players, then I'll judge them. Because the problem is this season, like
bar Gundogan and Bernardo, I think everyone's fair game next season. To be honest with you, everyone.
Yeah,
I think, and when I say bar Gundogan and Bernardo, for me, you know, thank you for what you've done with the club. Fantastic. It's time to go, man. I don't think many people want to see them back in the squad next season.
To be fair as well, mate, as well. Alvarez, by the way, Alvarez
was really good. Starting every game is not good.
For Alvarez, right? Alvarez, when he played striker, was really good for us and scored goals. But he wasn't a midfielder.
He was not good as a 10.
But he still scored from midfield.
Yeah.
But then again, with me, I'd rather play him striker than midfielder. I think Marmouche is more that kind of player that you want in that situation rather than Alvarez. Alvarez is more of a out striker that when you use him as striker, get you goals. That's how it is for me anyway. But Alvarez for me did well. Well, anyway, what was it for 2 years? Got 30 plus goals over 2 years, but not playing many games. Can't fault it really. Actually, did pretty well. He was for us. He did a job. He did a job over the games he played. The thing is, he's too good for our bench though. He's way too good.
Yeah, that's a hard thing.
He scores important goals.
The guy's a World Cup winner. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
In one season, he won everything.
I know, and
he completed football, didn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah. But see, for me, right, I'll never have a bad boy Alvarez. Never will, because I think he's a great player. I think I'm a great player.
He's a fantastic player.
Well,
do you know what? I'm so happy he's done so well at Atletico.
But we need to add more goals. We need to add more goals.
I think he went there to get Atletico their first Champions League. Well, now there's rumors that Liverpool are saying they're going to try to sign him, and I'm like, you know what? They wouldn't give visas to his family.
There was the Leroy Sané, wasn't there? Leroy Sané to Arsenal. That was one that was.
That's not going to happen.
Well.
It's just wishful thinking.
Yeah. I'd love Sané.
That's what I mean, though. Do you know what, right? Imagine a world, right, where Oscar Bob didn't get injured in that training session and he actually got a chance. I'm not saying I said last season that way. Imagine if Bob got to play.
I don't think even if he was playing, I don't think he would be enough to replace Holland.
No, it wouldn't have been us, but it would have been
I was extremely naive.
Pep would have done a madness and dropped him for Nunes or something daft like that.
It would have been, yeah.
Lunatic, isn't he?
Yeah. Sevilla for me, right?
Put those two on some shooting drills. Like remember last year when they had that clip before the West Ham game at the end of the season when Foden said he was practicing that one goal over and over and over again, and then 2 minutes into the game he scored that goal he was practicing. Yeah. I'm like, get those two to start doing that.
Do you know what? As well, I think someone needs to tell some of these boys, you know, it doesn't have to be passed into the net. You can shoot. You can shoot from there. You are footballers. Apparently so. I think so.
I
don't think they're allowed to do that. I don't think they're allowed to shoot.
That's mad, Steve. Mad. That's awesome.
Average.
That's play.
Oh wow.
His brother was on our team.
I think there's a video clip of that from one of the City channels. So everybody go watch that. Try to find Steve.
Was his brother? His brother was on our team. He played left back. Was he signed as a left back?
If he's lying or not.
Yeah, Steve. Just a question. Well, how are you at creative midfield? Can you give me someone that middle?
Can you create a chance?
Oh, mate. Yeah.
We need to improve.
That's the thing, Steve. You're right. Alvarez, no matter how good Alvarez is, right, at the end of the day, he was never going to be the number one striker. That's a shame because if Holland wasn't here, Alvarez would have absolutely cooked for us. It'd have been brilliant for us. But the problem is,
we had that 2 months without Holland, and he was okay.
You know, you're allowed to play two strikers, yeah.
We've been crying for 4-4-2. Even my Arsenal friend who hates City has been like, "What, you guys need to play a 4-4-2."
4-4-2.
Even the rivals are calling for it. Yeah, like Alf said with the diamond.
Well, in a way, if you look at the way we set up in game, in a way we play 4-4-2, because Haaland, Mamouche is close to Haaland. So
it's a 4-4-2, but it's very dysfunctional, isn't it? It's not really a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe he could do it next season when he has a few, like some better midfielders to do that, like 4-4-2 with the diamond you were mentioning?
But
like if it's Rodri, Nico, Florian Wirtz, and Foden or Echeverri or something, do you think maybe that could cook?
I don't think Rodri and Nico would
work. It makes too much.
Why would you play 4-4? Why would you play in that system if you get better midfielders? Because I feel like that system would be to adapt to our currently poor midfield. If preferably we play with 3 in the back, like maybe 3-2, something like that, and then just, I don't know, I guess 3-2-4-1. That's preferably how we play, with just pushing forwards, trusting in a fast defender to get back, and just outscoring teams. That's how we preferably play, because teams are going to sink in. It's difficult, I think. What I want to see this season is just I want to see Pep just manage games properly, because we played good the first half. I feel like the second half was so bad that everyone forgot that the first half we were actually good.
Yeah,
and Pep failed to manage that.
Good.
Pep failed to manage that. He was again outclassed. Nottingham Forest. Nuno absolutely outclassed Pep Guardiola once he decided to let Doku and Savinho have the ball. He allowed the wingers from Man City to have the ball, and we lost our effectiveness.
What apart from the results here, what's the difference between today's game and the game that we played away at the MX Stadium? Away from home, we played really well in the first half. Savinho should have scored. Haaland had an easy chance to score, then he missed it. Then a few minutes later, he put in the back of the net. Savinho had a 1v1 again from the right-hand side. He missed it. We were playing well. We got 1-0 up in the first half. Come out of the second half, awful. And just embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, that's been the trend this season.
Today's game,
decent first half, and then the
today's
second
game,
half,
and today's game is the same. Playing well in the first half, get the goal, they equalised, but we were still looking pretty good. Coming out of the second half, shadow of themselves.
Well, I think we're also lacking fitness this season. They can't play a full 90. Like nobody seems to be able to have enough gas in the tank for a full 90. I don't know if that's streaming issues, if that's just too many games.
Yeah, but you're allowed to have
by the way, tone right. By the way, bang on. By the way, it's true. That is, it's like it doesn't matter who we play right now. It doesn't matter what way you're going to play. It's kind of like it's basically hobbling to summer now, because it's clear that the overall squad needs a boost. And you aren't going to. Okay,
if the players can't play full 90. You're allowed to make 5 subs.
That's what I was going to say.
Where's the subs?
Yeah, that's a question I'm asking. Like
we're sitting there, 75 minutes into the game, 2-2, nothing really happened. Why are you not making a few changes? Why not bring players on there?
We're all whining about the subs this season.
Don't forget this. Listen, don't forget the standard as well here. There's got to be a standard, and you know, I might sound harsh here, but we're talking about Gundogan today. So you know, certain fans, I thought he had a good game. He didn't, did he? He just wasn't awful. He sounds really hard.
He had a good game.
He's okay.
Gundogan wasn't the problem today.
I'm not saying he was the problem. What I'm saying is, though, the standards have got to be higher than just, do you know what? There wasn't any massive mistakes today. He was all right. That's not, that's not where we're at. Where I mean, it's been a tough season, but we're not at that point. We can't be playing. The problem is players are playing on the back of previous success. And you know that's true because
not
Pep
all
told
of them
you.
though.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but certain players that is the case. And we know that's the case.
5 new
because Pep
players
told
who've
you
never
so.
won the Premier League, so
And that's the manager picking them.
Yeah,
the manager is the one that's picking them. That's what I'm saying. The manager wants to achieve top 4, but he wants to do it with the guys that he trusts. And I feel for them. Bernardo Silva, Gundo.
yeah,
He doesn't want to
haven't
do with
been good enough this
Elderberry.
season.
He doesn't want to do with McAtee.
What's the definition of insanity? Yeah, he's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, and that's the season.
Change.
These players aren't the same anymore. Their levels have dropped.
Because there is no motivation for them. I've won everything. I've done 4 in a row.
Yeah,
that's what's frustrating because they keep getting picked, and these new guys who haven't won anything, who might put better effort in, aren't getting picked.
They're getting picked. They're getting paid. They're getting paid.
Yeah,
some of these boys are on 200-300 grand a week.
Yeah, but these players, some of these players, they know at the end of the season they'll go and knock in Chicky's, well, not Chicky anymore, Viana's door. I want to leave. I want to go. I want to go Saudi somewhere. Whether we finish top 4 or not, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the only ones playing. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Play the young lads that they know what I'm going to be. I'm the future for this football club, and I want to win and I want to play in the Champions League.
As soon as a player starts making noise about wanting to go to, especially a league like Saudi, let him go. Just let him go.
Yeah.
It's no use. Don't beg them to stay. You know, I love Edison to bits, but he should have gone at the start. He should have gone at he should have left.
Yeah, September last year.
Yeah,
September last year. I said it. Edison is not happy at this football club. Let him go. I saw his body language.
Yeah, because usually that's why we let them go.
You can see his body language. He's not at it anymore. He's got a massive contract sitting in his house from Saudi. He wants to go. He didn't go last season because he had the club set the price for him, and the Saudi didn't want to match with the price. But he wants to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I will this summer.
I'm intrigued to see what
a great shout
when we hear. I'm intrigued to hear about the 115 result. I'm not saying it's going to make an impact on the season, by the way, but I'm just thinking, if we are found innocent of it, will that make an impact on performances? I'm not saying it's going to, because I think it's a bit late for that now. But eventually, is there a reason why it's so dull? Because they know, like, I'm not. Again, it's just a question.
They've been dull all season. It's not like this just started. Like, had they known since like September?
Why did he spend 200 million then, right?
Exactly. That's a good point as well. So we have no idea.
And why is Collins signing a 10-year contract if he knows something's coming?
By the way, just go back to something from Steve.
Tone is right here, by the way.
We did play it. Yeah, but we didn't make the correct substitutions. You talk about substitutions. We played good the first half in both those games, relatively speaking, to the rest of the season. Second half, we wait. Foden came on for the Bernardo Silva, who came on for Savinho. Like, these are not the correct substitutions, are they?
Yeah, Foden should have been the one to come on first instead of Bernardo. In my opinion.
We should have brought on Kovacic for the Gundogan.
But we needed a goal. I don't know why you're bringing on Bernardo and needed a goal when you have Foden there. That didn't make sense.
Exactly. And you have De Bruyne and have Matheus Nunes, who is proven to get goals from left wing. And to go back to what Steve said, big up, but Pep has had his own personal issues. I've gone through a breakup before whilst working at a retail. You think they gave a fuck? Like, I'm sorry, you think they gave a fuck?
True.
They didn't. Yeah. It's a job. He gets paid mad cash. I don't care about his efforts. I'm sorry. I really don't.
Look, the thing is with that, right? Everyone's got an opinion on that, and that is what it is. But I think for me, right, if the person are getting there, look, again, I know what's going through Pep, so I'm not going to assume that or talk about that really into that because
everyone's
it's
different.
Personal stuff. Everyone's different. But then again, I don't think it helps having someone like Lilo on the bench who doesn't do anything at all.
Yeah, that guy's just a yes man, like I said earlier.
I got called insane because I said that last season. I put a tweet out last season that Lilo is going to be a big problem for this team.
Yes.
Because he's the one who sets up this team defensively. He's the defensive coach, and the first time he was here, we looked all over the place when Liverpool won the league. And it was so part of that the team that when we went to Bernabeu, we conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes.
You don't need to remind us.
You got rid of him, bro. You brought in the guy at Chelsea. We're going to win the treble. Best defense in Europe.
Maresca. He's the one who sets up the defense.
That team, we could have been led by 1 goal, and there's 60 or 70 minutes left. Everyone could just sat there. We would not concede.
Yeah, that's when the possession ball was working, man. We could just toy with them. But I don't think we have the players for that anymore. But we keep trying to play that way.
Maresca go, and you brought your friend back. And even last season, the team looked awful defensively.
Yeah.
This season, worse.
I don't see. This is something that's kind of like last season. A lot of these same problems were happening last season. They just literally got mashed because Foden and Rodri both had 2 individually brilliant seasons and carried us. The whole league. A lot of these issues were here last season, and we didn't fix them.
Every single team in the Premier League last season was shit because we weren't that good. We were going to games like going 1-0 down after 10 minutes. We were chasing results.
Yeah. It's alarming that we knew that was a problem and we didn't fix it.
And we had that fear factor last season. This season, the fear factor is gone.
That's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
Losing Rodri is a big part of that too.
Do you know what?
Tomorrow we go Fulham away. 99. We're gonna get smoked. You know what I mean?
The worrying thing for me about that is it takes a long time to build your stadium up to that fortress level. You know, there's only a few teams that have got that. You know, Liverpool obviously being the example in the Prem. It takes a long time, and I think, you know, we've really damaged that this season. You know, it's teams aren't bothered about coming here and playing anymore. In fact, I think
no one cares anymore. No one cares anymore.
Wait, man, I don't know about Anfield. I thought they had. When did they all learn French?
Sorry.
That's all I heard on Tuesday. I'm just like,
it's
teams we are. Once they see You'll Never Walk Alone, they just shut up. They're not loud.
Teams are just like, let them have the ball. Let Man City have the ball. They will just do the same thing. Don't worry. As soon as we win the ball, let's go on a break. Because if we
that'd be a good
always
fake
a mistake as well.
You remember
There's always a mistake.
You remember Jose Mourinho had a record, an insane record. He never lost a game at Stamford Bridge. And I feel like Stamford Bridge, like a lot of people talk about Chelsea wasn't a good team before Mourinho, which is wrong because they were winning cups. And they were finishing second to Man United constantly. You don't build a fortress, as you said, quickly, but you can lose it. If the wall falls down, if a wall falls down, that's going to take forever to rebuild. You can break it in minutes. And that's what I feel we've done it this season. I'm not sure if it was Lewis who said it or Matthijs. We've broken our own fortress down. We've broken it down with ticket prices, with board performances, with lethargic management. And now the fans were leaving the Etihad at the 85th minute. Did you see that? Fans were leaving at the 85th minute.
Yeah,
that's a running joke in America with the there's a baseball team in Los Angeles, and the players or the fans always leave early during those games to beat traffic, and I'm just like, when did we get that in Manchester? They're trying to beat traffic. Like, what's going on?
It's not even that. 35 minutes in, with 10 minutes to go before the half time, everyone is already standing up to go to queuing up in the concourse.
Are the lines just really long? Is that part of it? I don't know. I don't have I have a small sample size.
Do you know what I mean?
I got lucky. The women's queue for the washroom was pretty small. So The men's one was like going crazy.
They're not interesting to watch the match. It's just a day out for them.
Yeah, it's the tourists. Yeah, it's like we were saying earlier. It's all the tourist people.
Do you know what I mean?
The record was singing when I went, and I was in the tourist section, and there was like one kid singing with me, and that was it. It was kind of sad. We tried our best.
But like that's just an English football fan thing in general as well, because I saw some video from Anfield in 2005. Anfield in 2005 before playing Chelsea in the Champions League, and that was I'm sure you've all seen the video by now. That was unreal atmosphere. You don't have that in English football anymore. Go to Anfield now. They don't have that atmosphere anymore. All you can talk about Anfield is not what it used to be, but it's the best in England. What's
the tourist attraction? Just same thing.
English football is dead. Like if it's being very honest, atmosphere-wise, it's dead. I look at La Liga games. The big games, especially in La Liga, it's popping off. Bundesliga.
Oh my God, dude! Dortmund fans. Oh,
Dortmund fans have been quiet this season. They say Dortmund fans this season have been quiet. I look at Dortmund ultras right now. They're loud as hell. You go to a Belgian league game, we're fighting before the game even starts. These fans are fighting at the game hasn't begun yet.
In Germany, they use the drums all the time. That helps quite a bit. I went to a game at San Siro to watch. It was Milan versus Dortmund, and dude, that was like a battle between the fans. They were going back and forth with the noise. It was crazy because, I'm telling you, the German teams, they got the drums, and those drums just really carry it.
I've never been in San Siro, unfortunately. It's like one of the big stadiums I've not yet to go to, but one of the stadiums here that I'll always remember going to, because I've only gone to it once, which was with my grandpa, was Bernabeu, to watch El Clasico. I've only been there once with my grandpa, and that atmosphere was so loud here. And I've gone to Club Brugge games, I used to go week in, week out, but there's never a noise I've heard like going to Bernabeu. You don't get that from Premier League fans. The loudest Premier League fan base does not produce that.
To be fair, I've
heard about is having tourist problems too, though. They said unless it's a Clasico or a derby, if it's against relegation teams or middle of the pack, they said it's pretty dead in there. It's all tourist noise. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
I've been to the Bernabeu 3 times now. The 3rd time this season against Madrid, and people say if you've never been, people always say it's like a cauldron, and it is literally like a cauldron. The noise literally reverberates around the stadium to the point where you can't even hear yourself think at times. Now in terms of their atmosphere, it's loud, but it primarily consists of whistling and shouting "Hala Madrid." The one thing that you do get with the Premier League. Well, what I was going to say is the one thing you do get with the Premier League that you is we have a lot of chants. We've got a lot of different chant variety. The banter's always good. We all know City. We've got. There's loads of chants that we have, and you hear them game in week in, week out. So it's a different type of atmosphere. It's louder, but I also think the way they build the stadiums in Europe is just completely different to how we build them. We build them kind of outwards, if that makes sense. And so a lot of the ground,
you lose a lot of the noise. They do it to keep the noise in.
If I look at the stadium from who is it? Highbury. That's actually a good example. Highbury was louder than the Emirates, despite having way less capacity.
Yeah,
because the fans were almost on the pitch. They were so close to the pitch. Highbury is a good example, I think. Jan Breidel, I think, is also a good example. Quite small stadium, but it's very compact, very loud. If you just push everything together a bit more, you can get more noise, and that's why it's Bernabeu as well. It has the roof. Because it helps with the noise. It really does. And the noise, I think, is very intimidating if you're playing in an away game. Even if the atmosphere is not great, just being as an away player being in Osmo away play in that type of environment, it's just a lot to play under, and we don't have that in England.
Right, I've been to West Ham away right this season, right, and the ground had no atmosphere at all. Like, it's such a massive stadium, right? West Ham fans do their best, right, and I think they do really good stuff with what they can do. Upton Park was much more of a stadium than West Ham in the area, and when you start going to these massive stadiums that just go away from what the clubs used to be, it becomes a bowl at the end of the day. And the Etihad has great nights, and obviously it's getting there. But when you get the whole PR stuff coming out about they want to make a massive, big, Dortmund style wall, but they don't want to have people who actually fans go. They want people who can pay like tickets over the price. You're kind of defeating the whole point of making that an atmosphere. At the end of the day, right? It's fans to create an atmosphere in these stadiums every season. Look, maybe it's fair so that local fans can actually go, and also fans from overseas can actually go as well, actually afford it, and make fans able to actually have an atmosphere. Stop policing what things can do. Like, what happened to Hillsborough was terrible. That was a terrible thing, right? But what you can do is learn from it. Have more security if you want to make sure it's handled right, but give the fans a chance to actually create atmosphere in the stadium.
The best atmosphere we've had in recent time was the Real Madrid game at home a few seasons back when we spanked them. That was incredible. That was absolutely phenomenal. And probably the best atmosphere that I can remember for quite a while, to be fair.
I think
it's just a shame that that's
better though.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, that's a good shout as well.
For me, Bayern at home was better than Real Madrid.
I think it was just the significance of that one, wasn't it? Because it was, how we played as well. I think that's the reason it stands out for me.
Yeah, I think because it was at the semi-finals. But I went to both games, and I felt like Bayern at home was
exactly.
It was loud.
I'll tell you right now, right? This stadium won't be as good as Gerson Park because it looks like yet another bowl that's like not even another corporate.
Gerson Park is like a traditional stadium, and there's like your local stadium where if you
near streets, cobble streets, proper northern.
That sounded pretty insane from the TV.
Against Arsenal. Against Arsenal. I think only in the second half.
That's where we get the most noise in MLS is the standing ground. That's where I used to go when I used to live near an MLS team. I'd always be in the standing section. That's where you get the drums and the stomping, and the stomping really helped.
But the thing
I'm not a big fan of. Sorry, I'm not. I don't like all the drumming and that. I think you know what. You don't have to bring an instrument to the ground to create an atmosphere, man. Just bring your voice with you. You know, there's so many fans that are around me that don't get involved. And listen, they pay this. They pay they pay to watch, and that's their prerogative. But you don't have to bring a drum. You can bring the atmosphere with your hands. Get involved in the chants. When Bayern and some of the German teams come to the Etihad, I watch them. They've got a fella whose only job is to literally sit right in the at the front of the away fans with a drum. No, he doesn't even watch the game. He just
doesn't watch the game. He does.
We did that with the megaphone. Like the megaphone.
Man.
Big up Tone.
Yeah, big up Tone.
Yeah, big up Tone. He'll be on the show soon at some point. I've got to work out of him, but he's definitely come back at some point.
Do you know what? Steve's just. I'm gonna stay there. In regards to the South Stand, big up the South Stand. Obviously, I'll get a lot of stick I'll get a lot of stick off the South Stand lot. But there's been at times this season where, because I sit in the, I'm in the East Stand, next to the away end, and there's been times this season where we're chanting for the South Stand to sing a song. So big up the East Stand, man.
Probably people selling their tickets for profit or whatever. I don't know how that works, but.
Yeah, well.
That's what we do in America. The season ticket holders usually sell tickets for profit.
The thing is, they got to make it right.
the south stand is changing because the prices are lower in the south stand compared to east stand. We always play the lower prices, especially I'm level 1 and I'm sitting behind the goal. My season ticket is cheaper than Lewis, for example. Mine is 775, and if you buy a match day ticket, that you can get it for 45 quid.
It's nice.
On the other hand, is more expensive.
£61 today.
Yeah, that seemed.
Yeah. Well,
it's mad how much they charge
right now. That's rough.
Big up to Dennis Duarte, by the way. Dennis Duarte, a Newcastle boy who scored in the cup final of 1976. Scored to win it, actually. It was a bicycle kick. Dennis Duarte, Newcastle boy. But ended up scoring for us. Big up to him.
Newcastle. My dream was Joel King Clancy would be great right now. So it'd be brilliant to have something like that in the team.
How in the world did we not get King Clancy to go be an agent and get Kvaratskhelia or Kravadona?
I'm just saying, right? The marketing was right there, by the way. The marketing,
like King Clancy, bring him in.
Imagine the marketing, right? You've got King Clancy 10, and you read it to be Kvaratskhelia 10 down the line. That would be perfect.
Oh, that'd be so.
It was 57 mil.
I'll take it.
He's been getting these deals. Bargain. Also, the Yao Neves. All we heard all summer was Yao Neves, 120 million euros.
Yao Neves will be awesome right now for us.
PSG are scamming deals. Why can't we get in on some of these?
Make Kvaratskhelia and Neves right now. Imagine Neves right now in our team. $1 right now. That'd be brilliant.
Oh God, he would have had a rough few months without Rodri, but I think by now he'd be doing a lot better.
Cooking.
Imagine if Rodri actually plays.
Yeah, let's also just not forget that our midfield is just a complete disaster right now. Even if we had Rodri, I think we'd be having a lot of these same problems in the midfield because the other players just aren't good enough.
All the problems originate in midfield, I think, this season. Like there are problems in the wings and stuff, but the biggest issues they all originate from midfield.
Before we end the stream, right? Are we going to agreement that priority is midfield still, or is it attack? What's the
midfield?
I think for me it's more the manager than just the players.
Ooh,
okay.
And I think the manager has to be willing to change. No. I think he's got to be willing to change. He needs to make some tweaks in his tactics. You can't do the same thing.
Or the same players too.
Just before, and you, if you get a new players in, you need to find a system that gets the best out of these players. Do not implement a system and expect your players to get the best out of your system. Play to their strength.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is step out.
Not saying that. Saying the manager has to change his approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
In games.
Yeah.
Game management. Yeah. Tactics. Create a system that gets the best out of your players. Centurio's season, it was a system where everyone was at it because you had the players in that, and the players, your system was getting the best out of them. Now you're using the same system without those players. The players are different. They're different profile. Marmoush is not your Aguero, or it's not even Mahrez, who likes the ball in their feet. Marmoush likes to make the runs in behind. Haaland does it.
Yeah.
Get a system in place that gets the best out of them. Because if they're firing up front, we win football matches.
Yes, but
because if we're not scoring, then the defense pays for it. Because we're not strong enough at the back.
Yeah, but devil's advocate here. Devil's advocate. How is Pep Guardiola going to fit in Gundogan and Bernardo Silva if he does that?
That's the problem,
yeah. Can't forget those boys.
Yeah,
they've done so much for us this season.
I
Oh boy.
Do not bow it out. Go in. Go in.
Do you know what, right? Steve has better pressing on Mateus than I was seeing for most players in the City team recently. So
yeah, get your boots on, Steve. You're being called
get
up.
out there.
Save our
He's got the
season.
word plate.
No, it's not a case of being pep out and pep in. It's a case of asking difficult questions because we've seen. Look at the in-game management today. You just because you trust the manager, yes, you love the manager, but there are certain things that you see, you have to be able to question them. Why is he doing this?
Okay, Steve.
Why did he not sub Doku?
You know what I mean?
Try something different.
This is just being a football fan. This is just being a football fan because we can't. I've seen a lot of people even at the ground say, "Oh, you don't know more than Pep. You're not Pep." Okay, so if Pep wakes up against Bournemouth and decide, right, Gunnar, you play in goal, you be my goalkeeper. You just go into a game and say, "Oh, Pep knows best. Gunnar is in goal."
Should never let Kyle Walker go.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, you have to question things. You have to question things. Just because we criticize the manager, just because
the big Sam.
Should have called him David.
All that tiki-taka nonsense.
David Moyes has won a European trophy. We should have brought now.
Yeah. Do you know what? The one thing I want to say as well is, you know, I miss the old guard, and what I mean by that is the players who, you know, players like David Silva, you know, Sergio Aguero, and not for the ability, because, you know, we've obviously still got those players now, but in the sense of, you know, playing for the shirt. And, you know, Pablo Zabaleta, let me tell you about Pablo Zabaleta, right? Still to this day, the greatest right back we've ever had, because it's not all about what you do on the pitch. It's important what you do on the pitch, but it's about how you hold yourself off the pitch. You know, that man bled for the club week in, week out, and was incredibly consistent. Technically speaking, not the best player, you know, not the best right back in the world, but he didn't need to be. He was so consistent. But the way these players held the club in regard outside of the games, you know, that's a legend for me. Pablo Zabaleta is a legend for me because of how he held himself outside the game. Pablo Zabaleta would never ever have left halfway through a season because he was struggling and we were struggling to go to another, you know, to another team. And those are the sorts of players we need back. We need back.
Oh, phrasing.
Jesus, man.
And this guy's like a man. You need to go do stand up, buddy. You're just bringing the jokes.
Trust me, Steve.
Mad jokes.
I'd go to every gig.
You go to the comedy club.
But now, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying, don't you? Like those players that, you know, we always used to pick the players that had the personality. They might not have been the best in the world. They had the potential to be the best, but it's how they conducted themselves off the pitch was also important. And I feel like, you know, I don't want to lose that. I want players to know what it means for City. We're not just another big Prem team. It's you know, it should be different. We should have standards.
You should be the ambassador for our club, not Mika Richards.
Well, you said it. Put it forward.
Actually, Joe Hart's doing a pretty good job so far. So.
Yeah.
Joe Hart cook.
So talking about Joe Hart here. Why is Michael Richards our representative, not Joe Hart?
I've been waiting to talk about this for weeks.
I'm right, Michael Richards. Right. I don't care. Right, it was me on Twitter, but I don't really care. Like, thanks for the follow for some reason. Fair enough, but the fact is, if you're talking openly about Arsenal and being an Arsenal fan on Sky Sports when you're meant to be representing City, get in the bin. At least play Nadim Anuaha for me. And
he's great.
Joe Hart have shown a lot more respect to this club than Michael Richards has. Where's Michael Richards?
Steve is right. Lescott's been great.
Where's Michael Richards on the City Watch Along thing? Joe Hart's on there. He's a match a day. So what was Micah? What is he too big name now? Is he?
last season.
I can see him on Champions League.
Last season,
he's an Arsenal fan.
He came to the Etihad last season, right? And Natalie Pike, she cooked him, low key cooked him, because he came to sell his book. I think he brought out an autobiography, as they all do. And at halftime, he came on, and
he's got a book.
I thought it was he had an autobiography, and he was trying to sell it. And I thought it was brilliant.
What's the book about? How many times a week I get a haircut?
It's Florentina David. Well, she said to him, she goes, "We've not seen you here for a while. It's interesting that you've come back to the Etihad now that you're trying to sell your book." And obviously it was given as a joke, but that's the nail on the head. That is the nail on the head, because he doesn't come to the Etihad for any other reason than his commentary. He's not seen around the ground. He doesn't communicate with the fans. He's not an ambassador in any sense of the word. It's probably the opposite. I mean, say what you want about Carragher.
He lives in London, right? I would imagine they all.
Talking about Carragher, he's not strapping Everton, is he?
No. He's Liverpool.
Say what you want about Carragher, but he does his job as an ambassador. That man is a PR machine for Liverpool.
Carragher?
Not just for Liverpool, even for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Okay, he's annoying.
The thing is, Aidan Manuha, Sean Wright Phillips, Lescott. I mean, I don't appreciate the Kushinov criticism necessarily, but he's better. But the thing is, right, certain players like that, and Joe Hart, right, that, and Zabaleta as well, even Aguero's a bit on it, but Aguero's actually a feature on the market and does give him Aguero still to this day. I will probably some players like Kevin that do that at some point as well, because they actually give a shit club as well. Michael Richards, for me, right, is weird because his career, right, was a complete flop.
Anyway, look, sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to bounce, yeah.
Come on. Big up, man. Take care.
Go on. Safe.
Right. Yeah, but the thing is, when you look at like Mike Richards acts like this big man, like he's like this, he's a bit of City legend. That he's done nothing. Well done, first
Legend.
season when he made it through, and also the first league title thing, right? But Zabaleta replaced him halfway through the season. So
he's not a legend. He was a local. He came up through the academy, and he was one of the players that looked half decent, and so we kind of clung to him. England international. But if we're being honest, I mean, if he's a club legend, what Nastasic? He's a club legend. We'll get Nastasic as well. Honestly, he's not a club legend, is he? Not even a cult hero. He's just a player who played when we were pretty naff, and he was a bit of a bright spark. That's what he was.
Samir Nasri is not hyping up Arsenal.
Oh, Nasri, what a guy! Talk about cult hero. There's one for you, Samir Nasri.
He's not hyping
up
Arsenal.
Imagine him.
He was an Arsenal fan growing up.
Yeah, he rates City. He talks about City a lot.
Yeah, I've heard some of it. The French stuff, a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? The club, right, I've got a lot of work to do. I mean, you're right. As I thought, the ambassador thing needs to be actually someone that actually represents the fans of the club. So again, Anuaha, Hart, someone who's actually Wright Phillips, anyone. I don't care who it is. Someone way better than what Mike is now. And it needs to be and also a lot of respect as well on the actual fan groups, because honestly, the way they've been treating the fan groups and the fact that you had to have representatives have to go on strike is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that isn't talking about enough on YouTube, by the way. I know we've got about the football being shit, and it is shit, by the way. But when you actually look at what's going on behind the scenes of the fans, it's even bloody worse. And the thing is, this was going on for the last year or two. But the thing is, because of the success we're having, it's been of the cracks. The problem is now that because we're playing so bad now, it's now right in public eye now. What's going on? Those prices, I've noticed, I've got more and more every year now. I've noticed, because I was at home a couple of years ago, right? It's about 30, 40 quid. So that's pretty good. I'll take that. Membership, £60 on Boxing Day.
Well, do you know what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing we've not been decent this season, because imagine trying to fit multiple Wembley trips into this. More, for me, I try and go to all of those games. You know, I do Europe away every year. So, you know, thank God we've not done well this season with all the ticket prices because, again, you know, it's too much. It's just gotten to the point where it's too much money now to follow City the way that you want to follow them.
Oh, it has. Absolutely. And it's not going to change anytime soon. Because, I mean, look, so the only way this is ever going to change, unfortunately, and no matter how many letters that these fan groups do, by the way, I will support them because I want to back them. The only way you're going to make change is through bad PR on City's part and also actually cause an issue. Because the problem is, City don't want to play ball on it, so you're going to have to do something worse, lads. And I know you don't want to do it. I'll say as it is, got to do a test because is it realistically, guys? Is it going to get any better with the price now on that front? If they can't do a meeting with the bloody fan groups before season tickets get renewed, which bear in mind it's been done a while ago now, but it's now middle of March now. And we're still waiting to hear about that stuff.
Yeah.
It needs.
Well, apparently it's imminent, isn't it? I think. Yeah. I mean,
I think bad news is coming on that. I think there's a theory.
Oh yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, so it's going to cause another meltdown.
Bear in mind,
I agree with it. I agree. You guys should be protesting that.
Exactly. By the way, Steve, exactly. It's coincidence how they changed to sitting in the community Etihad. Like
it's just another smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. There's been loads this season. It's a smoke screen. The bollocks about the stadium design and all that is all smoke screen.
Bollocks. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. None of us here are fooled by this because it is all we want to see is one, good football on the pitch. Two, fans actually respected by the club. Everyone respected. For a good atmosphere. I'm not against the club expanding out and making a hotel on that. I'm all for actually making it much better and having more stuff for it. Good this, you've got to respect as well and actually go to a point where it's a lot more affordable for everyone. I'm not saying 20 quid ticket. It makes me like probably or even 50, but just keep it at a price where it's respectable. Because
we used to get cooked years back for being too generous with the ticketing. I wish, and do you know what? I'd rather go back to that. I'd rather people cook me for 2-for-1 tickets and £1 ticket for kids. We used to do £1 tickets for kids, you know, and so kids in the local area could come and watch the games. And that's what it's about. That's City in the community. That is the community. That's a great scheme. We're so far from that. You know, if that was brought up today, you know, you'd be laughed out of the office. You'd be laughed out of the office if you were someone that works for, you know, in the corporate ticket. And
before we end this stream, we'll end on 115. Why not? 115. We'll end on that before we end the stream, and then we'll let everyone go to bed. Right, 115. Next week, probably it's going to be what's announced. How are we all feeling by it? And do you think it's going to be a good outcome or a bad outcome?
I do get it, but I don't get it at the same time because I think personally, if I'm going to do 115 again, which I haven't done for a long time because I got bored of it, I think it's a witch hunt basically. I think Premier League clubs were not happy with Man City dominating the Premier League. And they went to the Premier League and they said, hey, something is going on here. Why are they spending so much money? It ended up becoming a huge case and people are talking about Man City because a small fan base means we can't defend ourselves very well. We're an easy target for the media. It's easy clicks and views. But there's never been any evidence in that. The emails that are being used have already been used in a previous court case and found not guilty. You can't be found innocent, obviously. You can only be found not guilty, which means you can always be found guilty later. But the important thing is, when you have the same evidence being admitted, courts often look at previous instances. Courts are not required to look at previous court cases, but they are advised to do so, to take that as reference. And when courts look at previous court cases and they see the same arguments come up again, and one time it was not guilty, they'll ask you, why should we give guilty now? What has changed? And if the Premier League cannot say this, and that has changed and provide evidence, they can never win. And to do all of that, I think has always been an instrumental task. The number of charges, 115, 130, 152, whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's 5 charges and X amount of accounts of those charges, and none of it matters, because if Man City is found not guilty on everything except for the non-cooperation, you'll get a fine. If Man City is found guilty of all the minor ones and found, let's say, found not guilty of all the big ones and found guilty of all the minor ones, then we'll get a points deduction at most, because these minor charges, they are minor. Like a lot of these things are like £50,000 fines and stuff like that. Excuse me.
I have a feeling, right? And I have a feeling on Monday we'll hear it announced. It's because the way it's going, right? You remember on Monday, I was Tottenham away, we lost 1-0 to a Harry Kane goal. It felt like crap as it is. Now Monday morning, straight away we heard, we've been charged. Like, what? I woke up like, like it would not surprise me at all. If
you know
on
what?
Monday morning, it was probably on Monday morning at midday, right? We hear a alert from like Ornstein, something like that. Go on.
It doesn't. I've been talking about. I am sick. I hate talking about one. I've been talking about 115 since it dropped. You're always defending the club, and you get honestly, it's gotten to the point where you start. I could probably qualify. As a lawyer to some degree. I reckon now. I know that much about all the finance stuff, because it's always the club's always been attacked for it. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because if we beat the charges, people will turn around and they'll say, "Oh, well, you paid them off." It's ridiculous, but people say it now. And if we get charged, we get charged. So listen, no matter what the outcome is, the club's going to be the same, to everyone else. So I couldn't care. I just want it to be done, to be honest with you. If it's a punishment, fine, take it, move on. I just want it finished, whatever it is. I'd rather obviously be vindicated, but at the same time, I outside of our fan base, nothing will change. You'll still get the same shit you get now.
I'm ready to unload on this. I'm calling in sick that day, and I'm going to light the internet on fire.
I've got the stream ready to go for that anyway. By the way, it's already been thumbnailed already. But the outcome.
Knowing my luck, it'll break when I'm still in bed. I'm 8 hours.
Right.
I'll turn up in a suit for that.
I'm gonna shout in my pajamas, man. I'm calling in sick, and I'm getting the bottle of liquor out. I'm gonna
funeral attire on.
I think it's a bunch of crap. The whole charges are crap. They have no evidence. The guy who hacked those emails is a convicted felon for altering documents. And you know what happened in court is we gave them the real email, and they said, "Oh, this shit in Der Spiegel was fake." So this is a bunch of crap. The Premier League has no evidence. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with this. They are just wasting everybody's time and money. I hope City, when they are found innocent, because I think there is zero chance that the Premier League has any proof to prove any of this stuff. So when City are vindicated, I want them to sue the Premier League and make them pay Lord Panic. All that money we spend, and we also should sue them for defamation and
exactly. She'll be on the pit.
Hell yeah.
Does anyone want to bet here that the entire case was the idea of the CEO of what's his name? The CEO of Premier League. What is his name again?
Richard Masters.
Richard Masters.
Dick Masters.
Anyone want to bet that it was his idea and that it was all a PR stunt?
It was
trying to get
100%. It was a hit job.
Is he just trying to get sacked? I literally don't understand why
he's definitely gone. If the Premier League loses, that's all going to be bent on him. Like he's gone.
By the way, right, if we win this, I'm going to get everyone on the panel tonight, and also I'll get Steve on, and we'll get everyone on. Everyone will be on, and we'll just take the piss.
Who's going to do the 24-hour stream? I thought somebody said they were going to.
As Martin's going to do that. Martin, I'm not doing that. I'll let Martin do it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be jumping from stream to stream.
Luke's still going to be
a certain rival who says he's having a barbecue.
We're drinking whiskey all day for that one.
Yeah, vodka. Don't do vodka. Vodka's for teenagers.
I was doing 100.
It's disgusting. Man out for drinking whiskey.
115 Jaeger bombs for the lads. Come on.
Yeah, a certain rival is saying he's going to have a barbecue, and I'm like, I'm going to go crash your barbecue, buddy. And you're not going to like the food I'm making.
Again, trust me, I'm
crashing everybody's stream that day. I already told Terry this morning. I said, Terry, I'm coming on your 115 stream.
And also,
I'm calling in sick that day. My boss ain't watching this right now. Well, especially not.
I'll say this now. I mean, talk to get LB on at some point, so I have to sort of have to do it. But if it's next week, I'll get LB on with Bever at some point. We'll get people on if you want to come on, just cook the Premier League for about 3 hours.
He's probably gonna have no stream, don't you think? He sounds like he seems like he want to do 8 hours.
Someone did call me to stop put LB. I don't know what that means, but it's got to be good, right? I think.
Huh?
That's a bit.
I'm saying someone in one of the streams, I can't remember who it was, said Lewis is a Stockport LB.
Stockport LB.
Well, Stockport LB, yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a big part. Yeah, we're worried about what our content's going to be in the next 2 weeks. I don't think we have to worry. I think there's going to be some.
Goldbridge, the Nottingham Forest fan.
He should be happy for his team. Then they're cooking this season.
Brent this is don't call him by his fake name.
Brent this is our.
I have him muted, so I don't see any of this BS.
Butlin Stadium.
Yeah,
Butlin Stadium. Bring it on. Anyway, Joe, what we ended down was 3 hours. Bloody hell, another one.
Wow.
A long one tonight. But big up. It does pick up the chat, right? The chat isn't going for 3 hours, consistently putting comments in there. If you haven't had the like already, please do. It does help get people up there to join the stream as well. Big up Mateus, obviously, everyone coming on. Big up Lewis, BringingTheBlues. Make sure to go sub to him already if you haven't already. Great channel. A lot more to come from him, I'm sure. Alf as well. Get Alf to 1K ASAP, please. He should be on 1K by now. He does a lot of watch alongs, a lot of good content as well. And Calx, again, as always, good to take a book on finally out to Argentina, Antarctica. So, and also, it's been good seeing those.
Sometimes I wonder if I should have stayed with the Penguins, but
to be fair, pretty better.
Oh, they were trying to chase us, and like we were under strict orders to be like, if they come near you, you need to back off. Always keep a 5-meter distance. But they kept coming towards us, so we kept having to back off. I almost fell into the water trying to get away from them. So I was like backing up, and then I'm like, oh, the water's right there. I don't want to fall in the water because it would have been
big up, Steve. Big up, Sean. Big up everyone in the chat. Yeah, that's the end of the stream there. Next stream, to be honest with you, right?
I'll find you, Al. I'll subscribe.
It's probably going to be right the 115 stream. If it's due right, this 115 right. If it's due, then it is something else I'll probably announce on Twitter anyway. But if it is 115, then watch this space. If it's not, then I'll be back somewhat during the week to sort of just talk up stuff. Me was on tonight, but probably on the week anyway. But tomorrow I'm just going to enjoy chilling tomorrow, and no City for 2 weeks. I'm going. I need a break from City now. It's 2 weeks more than that probably, but it'd be nice to have a chill stream. But I'm obviously sitting in on the panel. Big up to you guys. We'll see you guys. Give another stream soon. And yeah, see you soon, guys. Take care.
Peace.